Go, Yon, San, Ni, Ichi.
Konnichiwa.
Minasan, konnichi, motherfucking wa.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of Talk to Keki. We are doing this on a Monday because we were busy Thursday.
Yes,
We were watching shit.
I was busy Thursday. I was busy at a club on a Thursday.
And I was busy with what we're going to close with later.
Uh-huh.
It's a hush hush. It's a secret unless you read the fucking title. Unless you know how to read.
Right. I wonder if the title shows up when we stream or not.
I don't know.
You know? I don't know.
Well, anyway, I am Matt as always, and to join me as always, my co-hi Ethan. What's up?
What's up? We're trying to comment so I can get everybody on this bitch. At everyone. Will it work? At everyone? I think I have to share.
It never pops up.
It never does.
So I don't know. I shared it on my actual Facebook. Shared it to my friends.
Okay, there we go. At everyone. There we go.
Oh, you did? All right, go.
Bang! Let's go, bitch.
Let's go, bitch.
Let's go, ho.
Yep.
I'm gonna get some viewers on this bitch. Let's go.
We are good.
Anyway, yeah. So, what were we talking about?
Oh yeah, we were busy Thursday. I was watching something that we are gonna close with, and you're out clubbing.
Yes, and I watched what we are closing with the next day on Friday.
Yeah, we are doing that. We have an update from our little argument from last week.
Oh yeah, how did that go, Matt?
We both fucked up.
Did we? I don't know.
I think the problem was
definitely fucked up.
Yeah, I think the problem was we both thought two things happened in episode 4 because I was still talking about episode 4. You kind of jumped ahead.
Yeah, I jumped ahead, but then you were like, "This happened in episode 5," and I was like,
"Yeah,
no,
you got one thing wrong. I got one thing wrong. We just fucked up, so we're good. We're bad people.
Go men aside. Go men.
Go men. But it's only one episode this week, so we'll be fine.
Yes,
we'll be fine.
Yes.
But I know the fans have made a bitch of like, what the fuck are these two are talking about?
Hey, you see what I did? We got 15 fucking streams in this bitch.
All right.
Konnichiwa, minasan.
Konnichiwa,
motherfuckers. That means welcome. And we just lost 4 people when I started talking Japanese. Fuck you.
Like, who's this fucking weeb?
Fuck you.
All right.
We lost 3 more because I said fuck them. Watching the numbers just dwindle down.
They're like, who the fuck is tagging us? Oh, goodbye.
These 2 fucking dweebs.
Alrighty, let's get.
And we're back up for 12. Let's go. It's like fucking like, are we done? Nope. Are you gonna come? Nope. Are you almost there? Nope.
All right, let's get to some news before we continue on.
Yeah.
We got some adaptations. Sweet Reincarnation.
Oh, sweet it is.
I'm not gonna read a synopsis.
Go ahead.
We'll do it. Okay. A promising pâtissier meets his demise and leaves the world without ever having achieved his dream of making the world's greatest pastry.
Oh,
but when he is given another chance, he reincarnates as 9-year-old pastry Mille Mortelle. Determined to be successful this second time, his life would not be as sweet as his treats, though, as he encounters unfamiliar hardships in the magical world. To get one step closer to his lifelong desire, Pastry must learn how to fight, utilizing his confectionery knowledge and discover magic along the way.
Meh. Okay, we're not gonna watch it.
What recipe is this?
I'm not watching that shit.
We're not. I'm probably good. This baseball anime Mixed Message Story gets a second season.
Oh, nice.
First season aired 2019. So there you go, guys.
I should have answered the fucking thing like this. Konnichiwa in my fucking
and we're down to 4.
I know, right? Who's the guy from Skeleton Knight? What's his name?
Ark.
There he goes. My Ark cosplay.
There you go. I love Ark. He was such a badass. Also, for the fans of Tower of God, we're getting to season 2.
As long as you're not fans of Rochelle, that is.
Rahel, yeah.
Rahel. She is hell, for real.
Oh, God. But it looks like we're going to be focused on new characters, judging by the poster. So I'm looking forward to that. I love season 1.
Yeah, I love season 1 too. I gave it a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I think it's around there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next page.
Next Mensaje.
Yes. Ranking of Kings is getting a special episode next year.
Did they also say that they're gonna get like another announcement, or is it just like a OVA?
I don't know for right now. But that's all we got as of right now. I thought it was season 2. I was like, oh, I'm excited. Season 2. Like, no, it's a special episode. Right now. Like, oh, yeah, fucker.
It's better than nothing.
I know it is. I wonder what we're going to do. I just hope it's not a recap.
That would be
I would be pissed. Let's see. Delicious in Dungeon is getting a TV anime.
Delicious in a Dungeon?
Delicious in Dungeon. Or Dungeon Meshi.
Okay.
I don't know if it's an ecchi. We'll find out when it comes out.
That makes sense.
Unfortunate news. Actor Kiyoshi Kobayashi has passed away. He was Daisuke Jigen from Lupin the Third.
Yes.
It was announced on August 8th, but he actually passed away July 30th.
I mean,
yeah, they keep their shit private.
That's not uncommon. Yeah,
I know. Yeah. No, he was 89.
Well, he lived
great career. Life. I love this stuff. I love this figure, Jigen.
He lived a hell of a life, partner.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna lock up my front door. My friend just left really quick. Go ahead.
Cool. But yeah, condolences to his friends, family, loved ones, co-workers.
Indeed.
May he rest in peace.
I don't know how to say rest in peace in Japanese, but yes.
Yeah.
Rip. R.I.P.
Anime project of Danjo no Yujo wa Setritsu Suru.
Jesus.
Or Iya Shinai. Can a boy and girl friendship hold up? No,
I see that one. I saw that one.
I was like, "What's with this?"
You know, you sounded like Io Shirai. I thought you said Io Shirai.
Ishi. But goddamn. Long title. Goddamn it! Stop it. Whatever. But will we watch it? Probably.
No, for serious. Like, I mean, hey, that sounds right up our alley.
It does sound right up our alley. Onimai, I'm Now Your Sister is again a TV anime. Winter 23.
Mm-hmm.
She's a kid, so don't expect an ecchi. It's like, calm down.
Like chub? Nope, no chub.
Nope, stop.
No chub.
What you call it? Psychopath. This has a 10th anniversary with a new movie. I didn't watch Psychopath, so
neither.
Good for you guys.
But hey, a fucking show that's named Psychopath. Bro, speaking of Psychopath, speaking of Psycho, I saw some fucking like the plot to a hentai.
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
I talk about Metamorphosis, something like that.
Yes, dude.
Stop.
I didn't know. So I didn't even look. Thank God I didn't read it. I just read like the plot. I read the entire plot, and I was like, when does it get better? It doesn't.
No, it doesn't. No.
I literally was so depressed. I literally went online and like looked at multiple hentai to make myself feel better before I went to bed because I read that before I went to bed. Literally, I was like, I need something. Give me fucking boy crush falls on fucking female vagina. Give me something. I don't want to read about horrible shit from Metamorphosis. Anyway,
Hayaku, you're not getting a season 5, but you're getting a 2-part movie, and that's how they're going to end it.
That's not a bad way to go out.
No.
Unless you're fucking Marte. Man, I want it, me.
No. It's probably just better that way.
It's our podcast. Whoever said this, I don't know who we are because I can't see it. Just his face.
What is this? What is our life?
Nani kore? That means what is this in Japanese?
What it is? What is it? What is it? This?
What is it? This?
Yes.
What is it? This?
Yes.
It is not good English, like you apparently.
It's all right, but welcome.
Irashaimasu.
All right, next adaptation: The Magical Revolution of the Reincarnated Princess and the Genius Young Lady.
Are we down to one person?
Yeah. Well, goodbye.
Fuck him.
But yeah, that's getting one more. Skate the Infinity is getting a second season and an OVA. We forgot one more news. It's in the title. Bleach. The 1,000-Year War. It's a Disney Plus exclusive in Japan. So, unless you have a VPN, you're going to have to pirate that shit.
Yo, seriously, dude.
That fucking annoyed me.
I was so sad.
I was like, to do what?
To sit there.
Like, goddamn. Come on. Like, with Crunchyroll, it's a bigger audience, but the Disney in Japan's like, fuck you.
It's ridiculous. I'm with Sean from our group. How Disney just doesn't. They don't put respect on the fucking on anime's name, but they they're gonna make a profit off of it for sure.
Yeah, but like, what the shit, man.
You know how I'll feel better about this if they give me a fucking Bleach ride somewhere.
They fucking better. They fucking better.
A Bleach ride. Imagine a summertime rendering ride.
Oh god, that'd be just a mindfuck.
Dude, Universal should have definitely bought the rights to that, so they could have put that in like what's it called, Halloween Horror Nights.
Oh god, no, people will be leaving that.
Dude, can you imagine? Holy shit! Do they do Halloween Horror Nights in Japan?
I wasn't there during Halloween, so
I wonder. Well, do they believe in Halloween?
They should.
I don't know.
Fuck. But anyway, let's move on. We got reviews.
We do. I'm over here just.
Hold on, we gotta
watch Summertime Rendering. Disney is legit in anime right now. They just haven't came stateside yet, but soon. It's probably Sean, because Sean is a huge summertime buff, or it could be Angel too.
Well, it's great. It deserves to be seen worldwide instead of just.
It does indeed.
And then you can watch it, and then we can talk about it.
I would watch it. It's just I want to wait for it to come on Disney side. Like I just don't.
What if we don't get it?
If we don't get it, then for sure I will definitely pirate it. But you didn't hear that from me.
Yeah.
A podcast about anime. Hey, someone responded.
Yes, that's right.
It's not just a podcast about anime. We do make a lot of wrestling jokes. We make a lot of snide comments that are definitely inappropriate and would get you fired elsewhere because that's how we are.
We're not paid.
Not at all. It's we wear. Well, Matt's not wearing a wrestling shirt this week, but I basically always wear a wrestling shirt at this stage. It's whatever shirt I had worn previously that I was like, let me just wear this again.
Right.
Anyway, all right.
But you got reviews.
Oh yeah, I'm in the middle of a fucking video. Shit.
Stop your fucking video.
I can't. It's an ad for a game. I'm trying to get coins.
You can't get coins on the side.
3, 2, 1. All right, I can X out. All right, I got one more video and I got 2 more videos. All right, I can just start off. I think I have a general idea what it is. Oh no, do I have my list? No, I don't have the Google list here. How do you get a Google list on here? Google list.
Do you want me to go?
No, hold on. I'm gonna do it. Google Shop.
You got it.
Google Notes. Yeah, let's do Google Notes. Google Notes. Live Googling, y'all. Sign in Google accounts. There we go. Sign in the Google accounts. Although I'm already signed in, probably. There we go. Dark theme. Yeah, turn it on. Hell yeah. Let's see darkness.
Hell yeah.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. It's nice to see. I don't have any notes. I thought I had notes.
You didn't write your notes?
We have Google Docs. Is that what we have, Matt? Google Docs.
For the stuff we write down?
Yeah, it's probably in Google Docs.
It's probably Docs.
It is Docs.
It's Docs. Okay.
My Cox Docs. I keep watching my videos while I do this. All right, there we go. You never wrote yours down.
I got my anime list. I got the list on.
Oh, okay. I got my anime list too. Oh, drop anime. We gotta include what's it called? Where is it?
What the maid I hired?
Yeah, the maid. Are you still watching that?
I am still watching.
Okay, the maid I hired. Ethan, because I dropped it. You didn't drop any others, right?
What?
I said you didn't drop any others, right?
Nope. This time.
Okay. All right, let me stop bullshitting. Enough. We're good. All right, so first one we're gonna go on is Ruby. We'll go with Ruby. So I'm pretty convinced that Ruby is basically, we got no viewers now. Nobody gives a fuck about us. Well, fuck you too, guys.
That's okay. That's fine.
Fuck you all. Anyway, no, so I'm convinced Ruby, this whole season is kind of like one long fucking like movie-esque story, I think. So basically we continue on with the process of them like trying to go through the dreams. They're continuing to struggle. Ruby and Team Ruby are continuing to struggle inside of Weiss's dream. And again, they fail. They come out, and
Right.
at this point they're like dejected that they haven't been able to do anything. They're getting deeper and deeper, but this, because of how deep Weiss's like psychological like torture kind of is, like in her head, like the shit that she's been through, they kind of just they're stuck. So they disperse, but before they disperse, the sensei is like, hey, like, you know, you guys have to go in a third time. If you go in a third time and you fail, she's gonna die. So you can't fuck this up. So they disperse. They're trying to figure out what they're gonna do. They don't know what they're gonna do, and then so they all split. And so Blake goes off to see what's it called, one of the foundnesses that's in town. The who's the other girl? I always forget the blonde one. I always forget the blonde girl. Where's Ruby? Ruby, 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 Ruby,
Are
Ruby,
you talking about
Ruby,
the blonde girl?
Bravo. Yang.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Yang. Yang ends up seeing the mysterious what's it called? What's her name? I can exit out of this now. All right, cool. Yeah, all right, I'm done with the game. All
Cool,
right,
cool, cool.
cool. Do you know, because you saw this briefly?
Yeah.
Did in I guess the original Ruby, did they have like an android type character in the town? It's like a little girl.
Are you talking about Penny?
Yeah, Penny.
Yeah, yeah, they had Penny.
Yeah, so she speaks to Penny in town, and Ruby ends up speaking to the other team. Do you know? I forgot what the other team is. Team Juniper. I think it's Team Juniper. Yeah, Team Juniper. And specifically, she talks to Jean, who was in the previous episode. He was the one that was possessed. And so they talk to their people and they get ideas. And basically, they talk about changing the dream and doing things like differently. And so John also offers like, hey, like I've been possessed, like I want to help. So they go to the sensei and they're like, hey, John wants to help. And they're like, well, you know, you should be able to navigate through the dream because anybody who's been possessed kind of has like immunity to like the dream, so they can freely move around. But you know, you run the risk basically of getting headaches and allergy like symptoms, and in worst case scenario, you'll die. And he's like, well, fuck it. All right. No, he wasn't happy at first, but what is he gonna do? He wants to help. So they go into the dream again. They start changing the dream. So throughout the previous episodes, they were told like, hey, don't touch anything in the dream, it may affect things. So now they're going in saying like, all right, let's change it, see what happens. So at the beginning of each time they've entered Weiss's dream, the White Fang are going after a truck of dust, not a truck, a train shipment of dust, and they always let the White Fang take over the train and derail the train and take the dust, and this causes great strain on Weiss in the dream. So instead, they go in and they defend the train of dust, and they defeat the White Fang, so that way they can get into the city. And Weiss sees this and she's confused. She's like, "Holy shit! Like this is, I need the shipment. It's for good for the business, but I'm letting these people in." And as she struggles, and she's like, "All right, fuck it, I'm gonna let them in." So she lets the train into the station, and then basically all of the town, like all of the housing and buildings move off to the side for this train rail that goes directly up the middle. It's actually pretty cool. And so they get deeper in the dream because of that. And so as they do that, they send John out on the list or on the next task. And again, John can move freely, and he ends up going into like the, I forget, like this holding cell where his other self is supposed to be in, but is not. So he is able to trick the Sleepy Klein. Klein is Weiss's butler, and there's the different iterations of Klein that I mentioned, like sleepy, dopey, angry, sad, Klein, whatever the fuck, like all the different things of the seven dwarves. So it's the seven Kleins. So he's able to deceive Sleepy Klein, and he's able to get inside of like this weird like circus type of thing inside of the dream. But he's able to find basically the key to Weiss's heart, the relic. And it's a golden relic. It's a golden what's the knight? Is it the knight in chess? The horse. It's knight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they find the golden knight. Before it was red. Now they find a golden knight. And in the process, when he takes the golden knight from this location, he actually releases these suppressed childhood feelings of Weiss. Like, you know how typical children, like, I want to play outside, I want sweets, I want a hug, I want to play with my friends. Weiss hid all of these feelings, repressed all these feelings within her so she can be mature and, you know, live up to their family name and expectations. And so he was able to release them, and that helps them out through the process. They convert like a bunch of things, they're able to proceed through. But then Weiss sees this and she gets pissed off, like they're meddling in all of her shit. So eventually Weiss confronts them, saying like, yo, I'm gonna pass judgment. That's how the episode ends. But before she says that line, she basically conjures the nightmare within them, like this giant fucking thing like comes out of the sky, and it's like robotic, but it's the nightmare. And so the next episode they're gonna have to face the nightmare for the first time, and again with that pressure of they can't fuck up, because if they fail, they're done. So it's really solid though. You know, this is definitely considered, like I said, if you have seen the previous seasons, you would definitely be impressed by the quality of the animation. And at the same time, it's they called it semi-canon. I believe that's what they said. Rooster Teeth called it semi-canon, where it's not canon, but if you want to make a canon, you can just put it at any given point, like at the beginning of like the series, and it'll work. It'll work. And I guess the whole idea of that is basically trying to build up the relationship, because I don't know how they did it in the seasons, how they built up the relationship with Team Ruby, because you know they're pretty dysfunctional because of Weiss and Ruby specifically. And I don't know if anything happened with Blake and Yang later on in the season that caused any sort of dysfunction they had to go over, but that's kind of what they're building towards in essence. But for someone who didn't see it at all, like it really makes me want to go back, even though like I saw like the first few episodes and I was like, this is garbage, like I don't want to watch this. But now like I feel like I feel almost obligated, like I kind of have to.
Right.
But in any case, so that's Ruby. I always enjoy it very much. It's got a great soundtrack too, so that's one of the reasons why I keep up with it, specifically because of that fucking that soundtrack. Next we'll go with Shine On Bakumatsu Bad Boys. This is a low-key really entertaining one. The way they do their stories are really good. So this week's episode is what's it called? Sorry, taking a swig of water. You know, by the way, for some of these, because we didn't record on Thursday, we skipped a couple episodes.
Of what?
Of whatever we watched. So I could go over 2 episodes, but I'm not. Like I would have to go over 2 episodes of Bad Boys. Technically, I would have to go over 2 episodes of Ruby, which I didn't. So all of these, a lot of these are going to be 2 episodes when you think about it, because we didn't record on Thursday.
That'll be fine.
All right. Anyway, so I'm not doing much of them, but anyway, for Bad Boys. To recap the previous episode, basically, they ban what's it called? After the whole like debacle that happened with Ichiban Boshi and his son, I'm not his son, his brother, Sukido. They basically ban him from participating in the next mission, which is basically a raid. They find out information that the masked demons are in this location. Unfortunately, the location is in the center of town, and it has close ties to the magistrate. Through not deception, but through sleuthing, they are able to find out that basically the town magistrate has been basically cooperating with the masked demons in regards to a kerosene business, and basically price gouging in order to get more funds, and then providing those funds to the masked demon. And so they're like, all right, we're gonna do a raid on this compound. Ichiban Boshi, you still can't go because we can't trust you. So Ichiban Boshi goes out to the bar and gets fucking shit faced on sake. And when he goes to the bar, he meets this guy, and they what's it called? They take a liking to each other because of their deep family ties. The guy's name is Hokijo, I believe it's Hokijo. Hokijo, Hokijo.
Yeah.
So he meets Hokijo, and they bond, everything's good. And so Ichiban Boshi, they basically drink until the morning, and Ichiban Boshi is like, hey, let's keep drinking. And then Hokijo's like, I can't, I got things to take care of, but I wish you good health and all that other bullshit. Like, all right, cool, yeah, everything's all good. So he goes out, Ichiban Boshi goes back to base, and we see Hokijo go to the building that they're going to perform the raid on. And we see Hokijo is working with the masked demons, and he says, hey, I want to quit. I think it's my time to move on. And they're like, all right, no problem. We won't stop you. Feel free. Thank you. He goes away. But of course, nothing's ever that simple when you quit fucking any sort of gang or organization or some shit, is it, Matt?
Yeah.
Never that simple. So something happens later on in the episode that I'll talk about. Anyway, the raid happens. Ichiban Boshi stays, and they basically they go in the compound. They see nobody in the compound. They're like, where the fuck is everybody? But one of the commanders basically finds a like a hidden basement with a lock. One of the other commanders picks the lock, and they go down in the basement, and they find that where the masked demons are headquartered. But they also find Sukito there. Sukito then goes and he lights up some kerosene that's inside of that basement, and then he traps them inside of the basement for them to basically burn to death. And so they're trying to figure out a way to get out, Ichiban Boshi, of course, he can't stay still. He ends up running to the scene, and he finds Sukito there, and he's like, oh, I want to save my friends, but I don't want to kill you. And they're like, oh, Ichiban Boshi, you gotta save us. So as he's trying to figure out what to do, what's his face, Sukito, aka Rashomaro, was like, Hokijo, come over. And he's like, oh, I don't know if you guys have met, but this is Hokijo. He's the town magistrate. He's also the corrupt town magistrate. And she's like, oh my god, how could you be corrupt, like da da da. He's like, and the guy's like, hey, I'm willing to do anything for my sister. Like the whole thing was like, I'm willing to do anything for my sister, including being corrupt and working with the masked demons. So Sukito basically forces them to fight. And one of the initial parts of the raid was like, hey, we need to find the town magistrate and we need to arrest him alive so he can confess to his crimes. So Sukito basically pushes the magistrate, Hokijo, and what's his face, Ichiban Boshi, together to fight. And as they're fighting, the Shinsengumi, which is basically the gang of samurai, they're like, we gotta get out. So they use an explosive to get out of the building. But of course, then the rest of the building basically catches fire as a result of the explosion. When they get out of the basement with the explosion, everyone's like, everyone's okay, yeah. And they look at Ichiban Boshi saying like, why are you here? And he's killed fucking Hokijo. And they're like, what did you do? And he didn't want to. The whole point was he didn't want to. And so basically their entire raid was for nothing, because any evidence they could have gotten from the kerosene factory has been lit on fire and is destroyed. They didn't kill any masked demons. The guy they were supposed to arrest alive was killed instead by the guy that wasn't supposed to be there in the first place, because he was banned from the mission because of the fact he couldn't kill his brother who's with the masked demons. And so they're like, the main guy, Sakuya, who's like kind of an asshole, he's like, how can we recuperate from this failure? And the commander of the Shinsengumi is like, we're going to disband because this is utter disgrace and a failure. And that's how the episode ends. And it's, that's good storytelling. Like they really did really good storytelling. Like with that good storytelling, and then like some of the action scenes. And I think this is a really like slept on show. It's not going to get a lot of points. The animation style, it reminds me a little bit of a movie that I'm going to talk about later as well, in terms of like that like picturesque type of art. It's not fluid animation, it's like picture art. Yeah. But it's really unique from that aspect, because it doesn't look like that CGI bullshit that we see a lot of times with a lot of animes. So as a whole, really solid, and it's being slept on. I think it's really being slept on. Next up, Boruto. So basically the arc, if I haven't explained it already, I did actually try to briefly explain it. The last time I talked about Boruto, I mentioned that they are going into the what's it called? Himawari and Kawaki arc, and we find out what that is basically in the previous episode before last that I'm going to talk about. Basically, Kawaki is tasked with bodyguarding in secret a foreign exchange student who happens to be a princess of a nearby like village, tiny village. So there are people that are after this girl's life. She's got to be like 10 or something, but they're after this girl's life, and he's got to secretly be a bodyguard, and he's the only one who of the Team 7 who hasn't been at the academy. So they're like, oh, this will be perfect. You get to learn at the academy some, and at the same time, like you get to fulfill this mission. But it's a secret. You can't tell anybody. You can't even tell Himawari, who happens to be in the same class as you two. Okay. So over time, Kawaki is just like super duper weird, because he's antisocial. He doesn't know how to really socialize and be around people. As it is, it's a pain in the ass to get him to be around all the other people within the group, let alone fucking little children that are more annoying than the little children that he hangs out with as it is. So anyway, So he starts acting weird, and Himawari begins to be suspicious. But he has good intentions, but it's only part of the mission. He doesn't sincerely want to be friends with this girl, but he has to basically be friends with the girl. And the end of the episode, you see Himawari basically eavesdrop on Boruto and Kawaki. I'm sorry, not Boruto, Naruto and Kawaki having a conversation in Naruto's office in the home, saying, "How's the mission going?" And Himawari's like, "Oh, it's a secret mission. No wonder." So the next episode, she confronts him and is like, "Oh, do you need help with your secret mission?" And Kawaki's like, "What the fuck? Like, how do you know this?" And she's like, "You were eavesdropping, weren't you?" Of course, little fucking girl eavesdropping on the fucking adult talking. But she's like, "I won't tell anybody. Don't worry." And then Kawaki's like, "No, I don't need your help. I don't want to get you involved. Like, stay out of it." And so they end up having to do like, there's basically beef between like this really popular girl who's the daughter of like an actress in the village and the princess, because everyone loves the princess, and the girl's like one of those spoiled brats, like everyone should love me, pay attention to me. I hate it. But they have beef, and the princess is like, "Oh, I'm gonna have a tea party for everybody." So they go have the tea party again. Kawaki's super awkward, but he's there. And we find out that the girl who has beef with the princess secretly fucking secretly put mustard in this cake that the princess spent like the whole like night making. And so like, I'm gonna fuck it up. Kawaki smells the mustard but doesn't realize it's mustard, and he's like, "Holy shit, it's poison, don't eat it." And he fucking just fucks up the entire cake with no like rationale or explanation, just fucks it all up. And starts a whole like food fight too with this other guy who's jealous of Kawaki trying to get close to the princess that he's crushing on. And this whole big old thing happens. Basically, they do some sort of what's it called? So Kawaki's like, I'm out. I'm gonna cool my head. Himawari comes over. They talk and was like, "Hey, this is mustard, da da da. Like, all right, I need your help." And she also helped him with like some type of etiquette in the tea party, because he's like, "I don't know how to fucking do a pre-tea party. What the fuck is this?" So she helped him with etiquette, and she helped him with this investigation. They come to find out, they easily find out that the mustard was put into the cake by the jealous bitch. The jealous bitch and the princess get into a fight, like not like a physical fight, but they get into a yelling match. And she said, "I'm sorry." And why is my homeboy calling me? My work coworker.
Is he stoned?
No, it's my work coworker. Why is he? What the fuck, bro? What is Frankie doing? Oh, what the fuck is this? I'll check. I'll check in the AM. As that. Now I got work fucking messaging me, bro. What is Frankie doing? It's a count migration.
It's like, we're in the middle of this, pal.
Basically, bro. Basically, pal. So he said he would keep it going and send me the ticket, and I'll just merge them as they come in. I don't even want to know the number at the moment.
Don't want to know.
I don't want to know. All right, anyway, back to this. Where was I at? Oh, they get into a fight, find out, da da da. Everybody cools off at the end of the day. Everything is all good. And basically, the end of the episode is Himawari is like, "Hey, am I your partner now?" And Kawaki is like, "No, I'm not gonna make you my partner, but if I ever need your help, I'll let you know." And Himawari is all excited, and Kawaki is like, "I don't want to get her involved because I don't want her to be in any trouble if shit hits the fan." Which, of course, that's fucking premonition. It's gonna happen,
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, that was Boruto. So it's okay. It's not like, oh my god, but it's not the worst. My Isekai life. My Isekai life is always fun. And so the previous episode, actually no, I did talk about the previous episode of Isekai life because we did talk about it on Thursday. All right, so we're good there. My Isekai life. The next episode, which I just happened to catch today, thank God. That was Yuji ends up in town. He goes to the town and he oh wait, no, did I talk about I didn't talk about the previous episode where he had to basically shake these people thinking that they were dumb. Okay, yeah. So let me go back to previous episode. Basically after he kills off all those guys in the village and the village is destroyed, he ends up on a assassin's list. And sure enough, he leaves the town of Ricardo, and they're like, where are you going to go? Like, oh, you should go to this town. They have great monster gear. And he's like, oh, I could get gear for my monsters. Okay, cool. So he goes there, and along the way, he feels and he senses, and of course, he's being followed by two assassins. The two assassins we see at the end of the previous episode before that. Anyway, they follow him. They're trying to figure out, like, oh, he's just a tamer. How did he end up on our list? So they scout him throughout the day. And so usually tries to make himself like more like stupider or more poor or more like unskilled than what he is. And after almost fucking up a couple times, he manages to convince them of that. And they're like, oh, well, this guy's just an average adventurer. No reason for us to kill him. Makes no sense. It's a waste of. So they leave him alone. But Yuji, of course, knowing that that's not going to be the end of it, he sends a slime to continue surveillance. We find out that the assassins work for this organization, and I forget the name of the organization now. But basically, they're out to destroy the world. And so, simple enough. And so he's like, oh, and they find out that their next target to kill is the priest, the same priest that gave him the dagger earlier in the season to help him defeat the dragon, the I guess the otherworldly demon dragon, whatever the fuck, and someone who probably knows that Yuji is an Isekai, which is basically another worlder. And so he's like, crap, can't let that happen, can't let these guys roam around. So after they disconnect from their boss, he uses the slime, he kills them, right? No problem. That's done. Right. And that's how the episode ends. The next episode, and there's actually before I move on to the next episode, there is a premonition from the boss. They're like, all right, we'll set our next plans in motion. And end transmission, then they die. All right, next episode. He ends up going back to the town smith, the smith, and was like, hey, I need monster gear, and he's like, oh, I have the money, it's not a problem. So the town like blacksmith looks at his monsters and he's like, yo, I've got nothing that will work for you guys because you guys are OP as shit. Like, I've got nothing. And he's like, oh, well, what do you need for us to get gear? And he's like, well, if you gave me a blue lesser dragon stone, I could make you some nice gear. And he's like, a blue one? And he's like, yeah. He's like, so you look up at the mountain and there's an active volcano basically in this town. And so he's like, on that volcano, there's a bunch of dragons called lesser dragons. There's a particularly rare one called a blue lesser dragon. And I need a stone from there. If you give me a stone, I can make you some really powerful shit. He's like, but lesser dragons are no joke. And a blue lesser dragon is even more powerful than a dragon. So he's like, all right, I'll go after it. And they're like, by yourself? He's like, yeah, I'll be good. And he's like, by the way, if there's a lesser dragon, is there like a normal dragon? And he's like, yeah, there's a normal dragon at the bottom of the lava of that volcano, but no one will defeat it. Like, no one, not even you. You stand no shot. And he's like, all right, well, good to know. Right, whatever. So he goes off. He's like, before I go to the town, let me go over to the Adventurers Guild. He goes to the Adventurers Guild. He picks up a whole like brick of fucking quests to defeat these dragons. And he's like, I'm gonna take all these. And the guild lady looks at him like, nigga, you crazy? Like, what the fuck? And then he's like, oh, I'll be fine, right? And he's like, oh, I'll just use magic. He's like, dragons are impervious to magic. They're like, oh, they are? They're like, yeah. Like, okay, what do you need? Water. And he's like, oh, well, water magic is my specialty. I'll be good. And they're like, oh, you need to be a really, really high skilled mage to have that much water capacity. Don't worry, bitch. I got it. Basically,
what I got you, pal. I got
you. In a nice way. And she's like, oh, by the way, if you're going to go over there, you have to cross this lake. Okay, what about the lake? There's a giant piranha that normally swims on the surface. Okay, give me that quest too. Nani? You want that quest too? Okay. And she gives him the quest. So they go on their merry way and they go to the lake and they don't notice a piranha. So they're like, what the fuck? Okay. So he basically uses his slimes to create a slime net, and they find the piranha at the bottom of the lake. And so they manage to drag it out. It gives it a tiny bit of fight, but they kill the piranha, no problem, right? So they move on to up the mountain and they start finding lesser dragons. So Yuji walks over and is like, "Oh, water spell, right? Water cannon spell." And easily
hello, Polaris R6.
Hey, it's our first comment. Hey, welcome. It's our first commenter from Twitch.
From Twitch.
Yo, we need to get like our Twitch thing going so we can like have like, like you see on the professional things where you have like a fucking banner, scrolling banner, and like they donated $1 to your thing. We need to get one of those.
Anyway, we'll get that.
Yeah, we'll get that at some point. Just like we said we would get theme music, right?
You got the money now.
So anyway, yeah, so he goes up to the dragon. He's like, water cannon. defeats the dragon easily. He's like, oh, they really are easy. The fuck? So they defeat a few of them. They get some stones. They get the lesser dragon stones, and then they find the blue lesser dragon. He does the same move. What are you guys talking about? Anime specifically. I'm going through the ones that I am watching.
Yeah,
So right now I am watching or talking about my Isekai life. I gained a second character class.
Exactly.
Anyway, so yeah, so he goes over to the blue dragon. He does the same water spell, doesn't defeat it. He does an ice spell, doesn't defeat it. And he's like, all right, well, let me go fucking super OP with this shit. Does a super OP ice spell, finally defeats it, gets the stone, and he's like, all right, well, we're already here. Let's just defeat a bunch of them. So, okay, yep. So anyway, excuse me. So they end up defeating the rest of the day, defeating dragons. He returns the stack of forms, and the woman is like, holy shit, you defeated 202 dragons and a piranha. And he's like, yeah. He's like, oh, by the way, about the piranha, you said it was going to be at the top. And she's like, yeah. They're like, oh, we had to find it at the bottom. And she's like, oh, that's not supposed to happen. So she basically fills out a form, and she's like, hey, we need to send like a magical, like a discovery team over there because that information is inaccurate and it should have definitely been at the surface, and it wasn't. They're like, oh, that's peculiar. Okay, whatever. So he gets his rewards. He goes over to the stone, to the blacksmith, and was like, hey, here's your stone. Gives him the stone. Okay, cool, no problem. And he's like, oh my god, you defeated the dragon by yourself. And they're like, yeah, I have the second stone too. If I can get it from my other monster. She's like, you defeated 2 blue dragons? What? And he's like, yeah. He's like, oh, if you need these other stones, I got these other stones too. And he spits out the other 200 fucking lesser dragon stones that he got from the dragons. And the guy's like, yo, these are perfect quality. There's not a blemish or a scratch on them. And he's like, yeah, because I'm me. Duh. Whatever. So he's like, I'll get your equipment right away. So he, takes a few days, gets the equipment, and his monsters are super OP now. Super fast, super strong. And he does like a medium-sized spell, and it's like fucking 10 times as big now, right? Crazy. And the stone barely holds up. And the blacksmith is like, hey, do you use stronger magic than what you have now? And he's like, yeah, sometimes, occasionally. He's like, well, if you do anything more powerful, you're going to destroy the stone. It'll be a waste. And he's like, oh, well, is there anything more powerful? And he's like, well, yeah, there is something more powerful, but you're not going to defeat it. It's the major dragon at the bottom of the lava. And he's like, all right, well, I'll see what I can do. Thank you. No problem. Appreciate it. So as he's contemplating like what he's going to do for the dragon, fucking the volcano erupts, and he's like, oh, this isn't good. So he sends his slimes out to see if there's any suspicious characters, because the dragons now are going like super crazy. Like they seem like possessed, like they were earlier in the season and at another point with other monsters. And sure enough, there's 2 characters that are leaving the scene of the crime. And as you look up at the top of the mountain, the freaking giant regular dragon pops his head out the volcano. And that's how the episode ends. So super solid shit there. I enjoy it very much. I enjoy this show very, very much.
Can I cut you off real quick?
What's up?
I found someone that I can actually make the music for $40.
Really?
Has 31 reviews, 4.9 out of 5. There's a basic, standard, and premium. For the standard, it's 90 seconds, commercial use, and 20 instruments. 4-day delivery. Premium is 65 with the song up to 5 minutes. So we could, if we do 2 standards, we could do it. We can get an EP, ED, and OP.
Are we gonna like do seasons now too, or like every season we're gonna change it up every 12?
No. But I'm saying if you want, we could do that. I'll pay for the OP. You pay for the ED.
Yeah, we could do that. We'll talk about it offline.
Yeah, we'll talk about it after the show. There you go, folks. That's what we're gonna work on next.
That's the next thing we need. Theme music.
Theme music, pal.
Good shit, pal. Oh, music.
Use some of my old beats. Whoever you are.
Well, we're going for, are they anime style? Because we definitely want
Well, for the person we're going
Japanese like idol group music.
Well, apparently. It says she could sing Japanese, English, or French with J-rock or J-pop styles.
Bro, you know what we're gonna get? We're gonna be like Watashi mo desu ne.
Well, she's got previews, so I'll listen to them after.
All right, cool.
How many you got left?
One more. Black Summoner, not the white one, the black one.
So it's useless.
That's racist. You piece of shit. Now every dark person hates us.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Hates you.
Hates you.
If you were wearing flannel, you'd be the fucking Mick Foley wannabe looking motherfucker.
Bang! Bang!
Anyway,
so I gotta say the town, but thumbs up.
Yes, for real. Right here in Vermont. Anyway, Black Summoner. The previous episode, basically, they face a demon, the Archdemon Victor is his name. The Archdemon Victor. And they defeat the Archdemon after a lot of struggle. And we find out that the Archdemon wasn't really going to eat the fucking princess. The Archdemon was the princess's caretaker, as they mentioned before. And as a favor, like, you defeated me, but can I ask you for a favor? And so Kelvin is like, what do you want? And he's like, I want you to show the world to the demon lord's daughter. Her name is Sarah. I want you to adopt her in your party, show her the world. And he's like, all right, I'll do that. So she fucking gets adopted into the party. They give her fresh clothes and like a little amulet so people can't see that like she has horns and a tail because she's a fucking demon. So, and she's ridiculously strong. She's like level 75, which is fucking madness. Like, that's super strong.
Yeah.
So she's level 75. And so you basically get in toward the end of that episode, once everybody's celebrating, you get kind of like a sense of like this. Her father, the Demon King, wasn't around, and so because he was out in some other thing, and he didn't want people to know that he had a daughter, so that they couldn't expose, like, the hero couldn't use that weakness, exploit that weakness. So basically, Victor was like her father, and so when she lost Victor, like, she felt sad, but at the same time, like, she knew Kelvin wasn't a dick, and like, she was going to see the world, and so she was excited for that. So with this episode, basically, the show opens up with Kelvin and Eiffel showing off their skills. Now they have rank S blacksmith ability, and Kelvin has rank Smith blacksmith ability, and Eiffel has rank S seamstering out ability. So he can make costumes and whatever the fuck, whenever. So Kelvin makes weapons for Sarah and Gerard, and makes clothes for them as well. Eiffel makes clothes for them as well, and so they're geared up, and they're like, oh, what about you guys' gear? And they're like, oh, when we get into battle, you'll see it, no problem, right? Like, all right, it's a good tease to come. So they basically Kelvin's like, I'm tired, like, yo, I'm gonna take a break, I'm tired, let me know when dinner's ready. And what's it called, Eiffel's like, well, do you have a hankering for anything? Do you craving anything? And he gets a sudden craving for rice. In his new thing, they don't have rice. He's like, where can I get rice? And so he asked this, and they're like, you have to go to like this town, this coastal town, to get rice, where they have seafood and rice. Like, okay. So he goes on the way to this town, to this coastal town. Along the way, they get stopped by a group of bandits, and Kelvin's like, oh, there ain't shit, whatever. So Sarah, go defeat them without your like weapons, no problem. So she beats the shit out the bandits, no problem. They capture them, they take them to the town, and we find out they're part of the notorious bandit gang, the Black Wind. And so they deliver them over. They get to speak to the headmaster, and they find out through the bandits and through confirmation with the headmaster that the bandits leader is a former adventurer that took down an initial version of the Black Wind, and he became their leader afterwards instead of like returning, which was pretty fascinating. So they're trying to basically come up and like, I don't want to really face him, but we can face him because we're here. That's fine. And all of a sudden, Kelvin senses a strong party near the town. He's like, who's the strong party? Who's the strong party? And we find out it's the heroes party. And keep in mind, in the previous episode, I don't know if I remember saying this, but in the previous episode, Melfina basically took a break from Kelvin to go direct the heroes party, because she's basically the goddess in charge of directing the heroes party. And so she directed them like, stay away from Kelvin, basically, without saying his name. Stay away from this group, right? As far away from them as possible. This time around in this episode, Melfina, the goddess, is out on vacation again. This time she's trying to basically find an avatar for her to be able to be summoned by Kelvin, because she's a god right now, and you can't summon a god. But if you're an avatar, like whatever, an embodiment of some shit, he may be able to summon her. So she's out trying to do that for them / us, whatever the fuck, whatever you want to say in that, whatever pronoun you want to use for that. Anyway, so she's out and she's not able to tell Kelvin anything. So Kelvin, because he sees a strong party and he's a fight freak, is like, I want to fight them. I want to fight them. I want to fight them. So basically, what he proposes, he gets the guild master of the town to go along with this plan, basically to send the hero party over to the criminals' hideout so they can defeat the criminals and take credit. Like, okay, no problem. But instead, what Kelvin does is his party goes to the criminals layer rather, saves the slaves that are in there because they're into sex trade. That's another thing I forgot to mention. They're into sex trade. They abduct women and sell them and whatever the fuck. Nice. So they defeat the evil group, no problem. 1, 2, 3, and basically what they do is they let the heroes party all the way in, and now I think it's not confirmed, but I think they're posing as the evil bandits just so they can fight the heroes party. So that was pretty cool. And that's how that episode ends. So basically, Kelvin's group versus the heroes party. Both of them are directed by Melfina, although they don't know Melfina is actually aligned with Kelvin, but she's not there right now. So it's Kelvin versus the heroes party. Looking forward to that. That's it. I took way longer than expected this time.
You're not going to talk about your movie?
Oh, I should talk about the movie. All right, we'll talk about the movie. So, I don't know how to recap this.
Well, you don't have to really recap it. Just give us your thoughts on it.
So, I saw 2 movies on Friday. One of them is
we're going to talk about later.
We're going to talk about and close with. The other one is an anime movie. That movie is called Inu-Oh. So I got this notice on my phone early in the week, right on like a Monday or Tuesday from Right Stuff. Which, by the way, did we mention that already? That Right Stuff? We did at the end of the episode. Yeah.
Yep.
So I got an email from Right Stuff saying like, hey, Inu-Oh is in theaters. Check it out. And I saw the clip. I saw like a picture and I was like, this looks interesting. So I look up the preview and I'm like, oh, this looks really interesting. Because they show like, what's it called? They call it, what the hell is that? Not it's the shamisen, but it's the excuse me, the initial name, like Bakai, something like that. Anyway, we'll call it the shamisen.
Yeah.
And so, it's basically a guy playing the shamisen, and it's like performing in the early times. So I'm like, this looks interesting. Okay, I'm gonna watch it. So I went and watched it. Inu-Oh follows the story of a boy named what's his name? Let me look it up. Chota mate kudasai. Chota mate. Gomen. Completed Inu-Oh. Tomina. That's his name. Tomina. So the episode starts off with a boy named Tomina. And his father, and they basically live in like this coastal town. His father is summoned by the shogunate. This town, or the story rather, let me back up even further. The story takes place in the 1400s in Japan, in feudal Japan. And so his father, Tomina's father, summoned him by the magistrate, like, hey, we need you to go out and find this ancient relic that's buried at sea near a shipwreck. And the father's hesitant. He's like, I don't want to do it. But the boy, excited, and he knows exactly where it is because he happened to find it by himself on accident, was like, accept it. Okay. They accept it. Right. They go out in the middle of the ocean one day, and they find the object. The object is a sword. And the father takes the sword, and keep in mind, this sword supposedly is haunted, which we find out near when he gets the sword, like, oh, the haunted sword. Right. And it makes sense why it was buried at sea. So he opens the sword, and this sword is so powerful. It's a foggy day, misty and foggy day. The sword is so powerful. It cuts through the mist and cuts the father in two just by opening the sword like this. You guys can't see it, but for people watching on video, he opens the sword normally, shing, from the shikai. It cuts him in two, and it blinds Tomina. And so Tomina goes blind, and he listens to his father's spirits. Part of this has to do with spirits as well. He listens to his father's spirit saying, avenge me, find the shogunate, get my revenge on the shogunate. Yeah, get revenge on the shogunate for me. Okay, no problem. So he goes on this journey. Along the way, he meets an interesting character whose name is Inu-Oh. Inu-Oh in Japanese, it translates to King of the Dogs. So Dog King or King of the Dogs, however you want to say it, basically Inu-Oh. So he meets the King of the Dogs. We see Inu-Oh basically act like a dog, but when he starts observing this traditional Japanese dance, he starts dancing and he starts very slowly gaining like limbs. And he's a deformed creature, like he's human but not really, and you find out why that is at the end. I'm not going to spoil that, but basically Inuo ends up like gaining legs and he can move around. He's like this twisted deformed thing, but he's got an interesting I guess personality because of how twisted he is and the fact that his father also abandoned him as well. He's the third son that got abandoned because he's a demon. And so the episode basically has Inuo and Tomina meeting, and by this point Tomina has met a biwa, that's what it is, biwa,
Right.
a biwa priest, and basically you tell stories. And so the biwa priest teaches him how to play the biwa, the shamisen, the biwa, and um he becomes a monk, like basically like a priestess, like a priest monk type of thing. And so basically he meets one day after whatever the monk meeting in the at the after the monk, whatever the fuck they meet, and that meeting changes their lives, and they basically become like a traveling performance, like around like the territory. And
Right.
so they basically start doing these theatrical performances. And bro, the catch for these theatrical performances, it's a mix of like it's a mix of hip hop, Michael Jackson, and Elvis.
Huh.
I literally kid you not. It's a mix of that. You have people doing breakdancing. You have people, you have both the Tomina and Inu-Oh doing Michael Jackson maneuvers. The crowd is going crazy, and Tomina is playing the biwa like Elvis, like behind his head and with his teeth, and like like Jimi Hendrix. That's another one doing that shit like Jimi Hendrix, doing the dance moves like Elvis. It's it's so interesting that you see other characters, like you see the crowd doing various dances. They do like a Mo Train dance. They do like all these various like up to date or like 1980s, 1990s like things, and it's very interesting how that is. Like it's definitely a lure to that. As I mentioned previously with um what's it called, with Bakumatsu Bad Boys, the animation style is like kind of picturesque. It's not like fluid CGI. With Inu-Oh, you get both. You get like very, very, very old picturesque animation that's kind of like, it looks kind of like hand drawn in essence. And then for the performances, oh, it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous CGI. Gorgeous CGI that really is eye popping, full of like fire and water and fireworks and fire, lights. It's beautiful. It's a spectacle. Wonderful. Of course, the soundtrack, because it's a musical anime. This is counts as a musical anime. The soundtrack was wonderful. The biwa strings were really good. It literally, the way that they describe it on Analyst is it's considered rock opera, and that is very, 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 very accurate. It is very
Nice.
rock opera esque. I enjoyed it very much. It gets weird at times. Like I said, it's kind of trippy. Like if you go to the movie theater and watch this while you're tripping balls, you would lose your shit. You would be like, "What the fuck is happening?" With a lot of the visuals and the story, it's all over the place. But the way they wrap up the story at the end, it was really, really, really well done. And they call back, and I didn't realize this at the beginning of the episode. I'm sorry, the beginning of the movie, it actually starts off in like 2020, 2022, right? Modern Japan, and they go back in time, right, to this feudal period in the 1400s. At the end of the show, they go back forward in time, and they tie that in as well, to modern era. And it's the idea, I guess, the main principle of the movie is how governments were controlling of media back in those early days, and how that control of that media has affected history as a whole, because of the fact that you see things that happened in that movie with Inu-Oh and Tomina, you don't see them. It's
Hmm.
and it's so wild how that becomes and why that becomes. But it's a very, very, very solid movie. I gave a solid 4 out of 5 stars. If I could give it a random thing, it would definitely be like a 4.5 out of 5 for me. I enjoyed it very much. It was so unique and different, but it was so enjoyable, and I definitely recommend it. It was a sneaky, sneaky, sneaky good film. I loved it.
Nice.
I
Now
probably
are
gave
you
way
done?
too much. Yeah, I probably gave way too much on that, but I had to give it some sort of detail, to
Right.
that.
All right. I will try to be quick.
Sorry.
It's all right. Maid I hired recently came back. And
Eh?
it was we finally see the little girl, Tsukasa Gojuin. Yeah, basically the first half is Yuri going to school. He's finally in school.
Mm-hmm.
After teasing Lilith again, I swear that's never gonna get old. So yeah, Yuri goes to school. Lilith is basically, what do I do? Because she doesn't have a master.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we see the little girl Tsukasa. She wants to befriend Yuri, but she really is shy and all that. Doesn't know. But like, oh yeah, hey, your parents died over the summer. Sucks to be you.
Rip.
That's kind of like that. Oh, God. And now, of course, Lilith doesn't listen, and she goes to the school to pick up Yuri after school. And then Yuri like, oh no, I don't want people to look at you. I want to look at you all day, every day, watch you all to myself, type of thing. Tsukasa's like hiding in the background, secretly shipping those two. The forbidden romance of a young master maid. One's a boy and she's a fully grown woman. All those details.
Of course.
And then you see Tsukasa's maid, Fujisaki, and she knows Lilith. She's like, hey, you're the maid for him, right? It's like, yeah, all right, cool. And then Tsukasa goes to her maid. He's like, I want you to wear this cute outfit that I drew. And she's like, I quit already. I don't want to.
Yeah.
It's like, no, wait, you don't have to. I'm just kidding.
Fuck this shit.
Yep. It's like, I resign as of today. That was part 1. Part 2 is Lilith is doing food shopping. And she, for the certain fish, she can't, it's not in town, so she has to go out of town. But she forgets her phone. So this worries Yuri. He's like, I'm sure she's fine. And then, then he sees that he left her phone here, and now he's starting to feel lonely. So you find out that with Lilith around, it makes him happy. All that shit. So, and then eventually Lilith's like, oh, I'm stuck in the bus. Who picks her up? Fujisaki, the other maid from the other house. So does that. Takes Lilith home. Yuri's like, where have you been? I've been worried. I felt lonely. Don't ever do that again. That was it for that. It's not that funny. I can see why he dropped it. As he's on mute.
I'm doing my Japanese lessons, so I don't interfere you while you're going at it.
Oh, you are? Okay. All right. Devil's a part-timer.
All right. Devil's a part-timer.
All righty. Mao has no job. Did you cut me off?
Oops, my bad. I meant to unmute myself.
Yeah, Mao lost his job.
So what's his point? What's he doing now?
So McRonald's is being renovated. So for the next few months, they're not going to work. So okay, no big deal. I'll find another way. And you find out his apartment is also being renovated, so he has to vacate.
Oh, perfect timing.
So perfect timing. So he has no job, no home.
You know why?
Why?
That's God, not the devil. That's God. That's God working in mysterious ways now.
Oh yeah. Anyway, they found a tape for the landlady. Says this is what's gonna do. All right. Well, if you're seeing this, that means the apartment's being renovated. You're all being kicked out. So here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna call my daughter. She's looking for people to do work. So call her up, and this was like weeks ago, because so he didn't even look at this for 2 weeks. So he's like, "Ah, shit. I hope she still needs me."
Mm.
So they called him. So oh yeah, it's out of town. It's like 10 hours away, and it's 10,000 yen a day.
Wow, that's $1,000 a day.
Yeah, but yeah, it's that every day. Meals included, housing included. So yeah, so it's like okay, well, I'm gonna bring my subordinates with me. So Lucifer and Shiro.
Mm-hmm.
So Lucifer's finally gonna work.
Mm.
I know, lazy bastard just doing Amazon.
Yeah, this is funny. Look at this shit.
Bleach. that's mean.
All right. Anyway.
Yeah. So anyway, Mal talks to the manager of McRonald's, like, "Oh yeah, I got a job and all this for right now." It's like, "You'll come back, right?" "Yeah, I'll come back," because she's
You
like,
ain't coming back.
he's like next in command.
You ain't coming back.
Well, it's only a summer job, this thing, so.
Oh, okay.
But they'll actually have money for a change. Instead
Yeah.
of living off 725, better be legal. But yeah,
it's animated. Who knows?
take it easy. That's a drawing. But anyway, the girls are going too. Emmy, Suzuno, Chiho. She had to get her parents' permission because she's still in high school.
Mm-hmm.
They go. They meet this person. It's this big, nice, exclusive beach house. It's a beach house. They do stuff for the beach. They throw parties and all this.
Beaches.
And Mao's like, "Hey, if we actually clean up this one specific house, we can get a bonus." Right? Like, "Oh yeah, if you can do it a day, I'll get you a bonus." So everyone starts working, and it looks nice.
Mm-hmm.
And something's coming. Cliffhanger.
I bet it is. It's
I
funny
bet
you said
it
that.
is.
You said something's coming, and I said I did this.
And so am I. So that was that.
All right.
All right, Shadow's house.
Hold on before you continue. My homegirl, who I hang out with a lot, she watched it over. She binged it basically, season 1 and
Half of season 2.
half of season 2 over like the fucking like 2 days that we hung out.
Yeah.
So I was watching the G1 in one room, and she was watching Shadow's house in the living room, and she loves it. She loves Shadow's house. I caught glimpses of it, including like most of the season 1 finale.
Yeah.
It's odd, I guess, because I don't have context, but it's just like so odd seeing how a normal human and like these blacked out fucking humans that are basically like Ash are like fighting.
They're just Ash. Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway.
But anyway, what you call it? Sean and Emilico, the two dolls. Well, dolls.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were talking about their lives when they were human. It's like I wonder what we were like and all this. Like maybe our Shadow Masters, maybe that's what our names were.
Mm-hmm.
Like Emilico was Kate before all this, and Sean was John.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that. I thought that was nice. They were actually talking about their past life, what could they be? What are they?
Right.
And what is the point of this place?
I do want to. I'm curious about that. What is the?
I am too. Yeah, I think that's really the mystery of this house.
Why do I exist?
And like how did it start? Where did these shadows come from? Or
and it doesn't have to do with it doesn't have to do with the shot they took.
They take they drink stuff. They drink this cup.
Because at the end, you see, because when you see the opening of season 1, you see the shadows taking the shot. When you see the conclusion of season 1, you see they're in human form, which creeped me the fuck out. But
yeah,
that's why I was like,
but with the dolls, they drink this coffee with the suit. That makes them like this brainwashed to worship this grandfather type thing. And Sean and Minako, they've basically been spitting out because they know what it does. It brainwashes them.
Yeah.
But she drank it this time. I'm like, So yeah, all this worries Kate. So Kate gets her to snap out of it because basically you gotta drink water. Drink as much as you can to basically upchuck that crap out of you.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Before that, though, Sean meets this person that's like causing a ruckus around there. He's talking about how she's actually not the enemy of what they're looking for.
Sure, you're not
So
good.
we don't know her motive yet.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be interesting when Kate actually meets this person, this holy robe type ordeal. But no, nice stuff. Again, we're learning again. This is more about the dolls, about their previous life.
See, now
So
that I've seen pieces of it, like I follow this one even more now.
Yeah, and I like that, and I thought it was nice.
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously like a main focal point, so of course you want to.
Oh yeah,
You know,
exactly.
like why do, like I said, Ash things exist?
Yeah, and yeah, again, we still don't know that much about grandfather, so
Yeah, he's creepy as shit too. Like he's definitely hiding some shit. No
yeah,
doubt. No doubt.
no doubt. All right, Isekai Ojisan.
Mm.
More of the uncle.
Mm.
Love this uncle.
Best uncle? Is
We
that
don't
you
get, you
gonna,
know, we really don't have a lot of anime uncles, do we?
Shigure from Fruits Basket.
Yeah, but it's creepy.
It's creepy. Yeah, creepy. The uncle from Boku no Pico? No, I'm just kidding.
Stop it! Stop! Why?
Oh, we're gonna get defunded.
Oh my god!
Your
Why?
face.
Why?
Oh, I said that as a joke, and there you are. You look mind fucked. You're like,
Just stop. Where was I? I lost my train of thought.
Isekai Ojisan.
Oh, okay. Yeah. OG-san is talking.
You're so flustered.
Talking about Fujimiya. It's her birthday. God damn.
You're fucking red. You're pink. You're fucking pink.
Why you bring that up, man? I try to forget. You gotta draw a line in the sand, dude.
Oh
You gotta look inside yourself and go, what am I willing to put up with today?
Oh my God.
Not this.
Hey, bro. I mean, that's like the poster people of Trap.
Done with you. I'm done with you.
Anyway.
I'm gonna say this. Fuck this freak. I was gonna say it's a funny episode. Fujimiya was new. She was almost new in the background. And then what you call it? Takafumi, he sees her in this towel. She starts freaking out. So he sends a smoke signal out for his uncle to come back from wherever he was.
A smoke signal. I love smoke signals.
Yeah, they communicate from like signals and like there's a flag if it's upside down, it means danger or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And Takafumi's like I can't look at you. You're naked. He's like, I want you to look at me. And of course, the uncle barges in with fire and ice, ready to attack. It's like, what's the danger here? It's like, no, nothing. Stop.
Mm-hmm.
And then what to call it? The uncle has his philosophy in life: a pinch is a chance. And you got this from a fucking video game, Puyo Puyo strategy guidebook. It's like stop getting your stuff from fucking video games.
Hey, video games are helpful. They get you to where you need to go.
His entire life is Sega. It's fucking Sega. But what you call it? We get more flashback of the uncle. He was sharing about his birthday experience in this other world. And of course, the Tsundere elf. Like they're chatting up and all this. And of course, the uncle's drunk. He grabs her by the wrist. She's thinking they're gonna get it on.
Oh yeah, I saw that screenshot, and she's like super blushing. She's like, "Oh my God, don't put it in."
No, not before that. That was before that.
Oh, okay.
Like he has his arm around her. Looks like he's about to cup a feel. While she's like, let's go to my room and all this. So she takes him to the door. And said, okay, I see you to get me to the door. Fuck you. Bye.
Nah.
It's like, dude.
No.
And of course, Takafumi Fujimura, this look is like, uncle, what the fuck?
Right.
And then they go to the next night. They're in the dungeon. He's holding her and all this.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, they're not doing anything. And the uncle really cannot hold his liquor at all. And then we're back in the current time. He's drunk after like one bottle of something that's like very weak shit. As they learn, we're going to go fly. So he throws them out the window.
What the fuck?
He throws them out the window.
Boy, was last week throw people out the window? Because that happened
Yes.
somewhere else too.
Yes.
We'll talk about later. I guess that was throw people out the window week last week.
Yeah, but it's like he's like holding on to them, like all like it's like you're like how you skydive, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like drunkenly spinning around with them. That's how the episode ended. It was just funny. We're good.
Motherfucker had a shot of old duels and fucked him up.
Yes, but basically, yeah. Alrighty. Summertime rendered.
All right.
I'm gonna end with class. I'll end with Classroom this time.
Okay.
Because Classroom was really good.
All right.
Alrighty. This one was a holy fuck type of moment.
Oh, okay. Well, Sean made it seem like it wasn't that great because he's like, "Oh, fucking Engaged Kiss was better."
Well, no, no. What you call it? Shinpei. He's try what was that doctor's name again?
These nuts.
No, Karikiri. Yeah, basically Karikiri is talking to Shinpei. He was talking about Final Fantasy VII, how he loves the game because it talks about life.
Mm-hmm.
And then Shinpei was talking about he gets stuff for life for books.
Mm-hmm.
And he's talking about the Swapman book that Hayase wrote, where it's basically about the shadow people, the shadow sickness.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's talking to Karikiri, and he says, "I know you're Shide, the shadow forearm guy, that big forearm guy."
Mm-hmm.
And you find out that Karikiri is a half shadow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's been around for 300 years.
What the fuck? So,
and he uses Hane to basically make a copy of him every time a kid is born. So he's transferred through another baby each time with all those memories and everything.
So why is he half though?
Because I really cannot explain that.
Well, then I would make him. I would just make him like a super shadow. That he's
Like he was there when he was there when this whale thing
first existed.
Yeah, like he was there when it happened. Like he was there. He saw this whale that washed up on shore. There was like original shadow thing that came from the sea, which is where they're from.
It was a whale. Oh, they're from the sea?
Yeah.
Oh, they're at the bottom of the sea. That makes sense.
Yeah. So he encountered that like years ago.
So Poseidon made these.
Yeah.
They come from the bottom of the sea. So I'm like, oh, Poseidon. That makes sense. Right?
He is.
Hey, if they ever do a live action version of fucking Summertime Rendering and they're coming from the sea, you already know Jason Momoa is going to be in that bitch.
Yeah. What you call it? He is the son and lover of Hane.
Gay lover.
No, like she made him into a shadow.
Oh, never mind. Hane's a girl. I thought it was a boy.
Yeah. Hane's a girl.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah, she turned him to a shadow, and basically, they have kids together each time.
So they have shadow kids.
Yes.
Or are they human kids?
It's half and half. And that's how he gets, again, his life cycles each time she gives birth with him.
So technically she fucks her son.
Yes. Yes.
Because anime.
Yeah.
Because Japan.
Yeah. So, yeah, like we find out about this, and Ushido, she gets pissed off at what he says about, like, because, he killed Shinpei's parents.
Mm-hmm.
Cuts his head off. Like, his head's cut in half, this shadow thing.
Oh, Kobe Bryant style. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes. So Shide is dead. So you think.
Mm.
And it was a fake. So the real one basically stabbed Ushio's shadow, like with the sickle thing, cut her in half. She's dead. Ushio is dead right in front of Shinpei.
Dead.
For right now, yes, she's
For right
dead,
now,
dead.
because
We don't know, but right now she's dead. And he takes this weapon and chucks it at Shinpei, stabs him through the chest. He goes out the window. He's stabbed from the tree. He's
out
dead.
the window.
He's dead. And then she then says, like, yeah, like, you lost now because, she was dead. You're on your own. And yeah, and Shinpei loops and she's not there. That's how the episode ended. So I'm like, fuck.
But so she'll probably be gone until like the season finale.
I think in like 2 episodes she'll be back. We'll see.
Damn, 2?
2 to 3. As of right now, we don't know what's going on.
Is that like an average of when characters that you think are gone come back? 2 to 3?
I guess. It really depends, yeah. But no, this was just jaw drop. Like they actually did this type of thing.
Mm-hmm. Hey.
And this how they set it up, thinking that she could be legit dead again.
Angel wants steaks. Sean wants steaks. There you go. Steaks.
Yeah.
And not the kind you eat.
Exactly.
I would love a steak.
Yeah, that'd be nice right now.
Right.
Nice. Okay. One more for me.
I'm ready.
Classroom of the Elite.
You did yours in like 25 minutes. I did mine in like 50.
Yeah. What you call it? Hori. She finally talks to the guy that was walking out at the games. What's his name again? Too many classmates. Ken. She goes to Ken. She's trying to.
Hold on, before you continue, you said too many classmates. Do you end up knowing does each classmate in that class like have? It's because it's a normal class, right?
In
like
class, you learn from every single class A, B, C, and D.
No, but you said there's too many classmates. So like, is it a normal class? Like 20, 25 people?
Yeah.
And do each of them like
you know about half of them in each class?
Okay, so there's still background guys that are.
There's some background, but there's a lot of them that help in plot wise.
Oh, okay, so that makes sense.
Yeah, there's a few main ones that you do see that revolves around the actual people. And Ken is one of them. He's like this like tough guy. Like he's like the big doofus type of thing. Like he's good at sports and all this. He usually thinks with his fist type of thing. So unless you talk to him rationally, he'll start to understand it.
What's 2 + 2? Thomas Jefferson, sucker.
But yeah, Suzune, she talks to him, tries to calm him down, type of thing. She starts opening up about herself. Like she's actually growing as a character. Just being this heartless bitch that like pushes people away. She's actually trying to be a person. That's what her brother wanted. That's why her brother basically neglects her because she's like you're just by yourself. That's not what I taught you, type of thing. Like you do this, and that's why you're weak, type of thing. And then eventually the guy, he comes back, and now we're doing this relay race. And guess who's racing Ayada Koji near the end? The student council president.
I was gonna say the one he told you to open the legs, or no?
No, Manabu, her brother, the student council president.
Okay.
So I was like, oh shit, okay. And he wants to know about Ayada Koji. Like he's trying to learn about him because he knows that Ayada Koji basically got 50 out of 100 on every test on purpose. That's why he's in Class D. So like he wants to know like where did he come from, like why is he doing this type of thing. He finds him interesting.
Omoshiroi.
Yeah, so he wants to race. So like they're paired up in this race, like they're gonna race together. And Koji says, "I'll race you by one condition: run like your life depends on it." Like he wants him at his best. And when they're going, he has it for the president. He has a baton, but he's not running. He's waiting for Ayada Koji to get his. So all the students are passing them. Like I'm waiting. And then he eventually gets it, and they start running. They're passing everyone. Even Ayada Koji's like, I'm actually got to run seriously.
Mm-hmm.
He lost.
Rip.
Yeah, Malibu actually won. Like you don't see it either. It's like you see like a white flash as like you see the crowds cheering, and you find out, like he lost still. Then Ayana Koji talks to Suzune for a bit, and she says there's something I gotta take care of.
Mm-hmm.
You remember what I talked in the last episode where the villain wanted her to grovel before him?
Yeah.
So she goes to see him.
Mm.
She meets Ryuen. And who else is there? Kushida, the girl that's
Time splitter.
The what you call it? The
you get my joke. It was...
yeah, time splitter. Not that Kushida. Before all that though, I got ahead a little bit. I Koji talks to Kushida. Like he even said to her, like, I know you're the traitor still.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, what if I am? Are you gonna tell people? Because remember, your hands on my clothes still from when I made you touch my breasts.
Oh.
So like, I still have that. Like, does she not fucking wash that shirt? Because it's been like 6 months.
Kimoy.
Yeah. And she talks about why she's doing it because she wants Suzune expelled from school.
Mm.
And she doesn't say why still.
Mm.
All Ayana Koji knows that she hates Suzune. And Kushida's there with Ryu while Suzune's trying to talk to him. She's like, I know it's you, cut the shit. Like
take cargo voice, cut this shit.
Yeah, it was basically that. And she's like, yeah, and she's like, oh, what are you talking about? I don't know. I have no idea. It's like, all right, seriously, drop the act.
Okay, Tony Schiavone.
Yeah. And then she's basically like, I knew you look familiar because you're someone I knew from middle school.
Mm.
So then she starts, then Kushida starts dropping the acts.
Mm-hmm.
And her thing is she's trying to get rid of everyone that knew about her in middle school.
Because what was she like in middle school?
We don't know. As a fact, we don't know.
We'll find out next episode.
We'll find out. And then, what you call it?
Was she the class whore? Maybe.
No, I think she's just a schizo. I think she. And then Ryuyen, she's like,
okay.
And then the guy Ryuyen, he's like, so I'm a threat to you too, type of thing.
Mm.
And she's like, maybe, but I'm working with you for now so I can get rid of her first.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ryu, he respects that because like, all right, like yeah, if you want to get rid of if you want me to top the class, get rid of everyone.
Yep, fuck everyone.
But if they see Suzune, she recorded the whole thing. So
gotcha, bitch.
Yeah, but
wait, there's more.
Ryu was doing the same thing.
Oh,
because she's like, I'll edit out what you said. Mm. He's like, oh, guess what? I have the whole thing too. And I'm not gonna edit it. So about you groveling. And she was about to, and then Ryu gets a text on his phone saying, you need to watch this now or listen to this.
Mm-hmm.
He hits play, and it's him talking to his classmates about, hey, I'm going to break your leg to screw them over.
Mm.
So someone recorded him.
Mm.
And then Ryu realizes that Suzune is not the one he's looking for from the previous season.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so you're not the mastermind. Like, you're being used too.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, I'm done with you now. Because now it's Ayana Koji.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow he recorded him.
Mm.
So it's like, okay, now it's a real cat and mouse game. Ayana Koji and Ryu.
Creepy.
So I'm like, all right, interesting. Like, the game's afoot now.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that was where the episode ended.
Bro, it's so much like, you fuck me, you fuck on me, no, I fuck on you.
So basically, Ayana Koji is one step ahead of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Still.
Always.
So now we're going to figure out, as it goes on, like, let's see what happens next.
Mm-hmm.
That's it for me.
All right, buddy.
All right, let's get to it.
Start with the etchies. We always do.
All righty.
Which was the least etchy? The least good etchy?
Stepmother?
No, fuck this. I always want to start with Rent a Girlfriend because I hate Rent a Girlfriend.
No, start Rent a Girlfriend.
It wasn't that bad though.
I still like Ruka.
Yeah, I'm Team Ruka, no doubt. I am 100% Team Ruka.
Oh yeah.
And Saki.
I also like Sumi. I also like Sumi.
Sumi. I don't know why I said Saki. Sumi. I guess because I
Yeah.
said Saki because of fucking metamorphosis still. God damn it.
Yeah, stop it.
Fuck. I know. Ruined me.
I know, but what you call it? It's Ruka and Kazuya talking at the karaoke shop. Hey Matt, how you doing, buddy?
Hey.
Welcome. Welcome to our show.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa. But what you call it? They're talking there, and guess who pulls up? Mommy.
Ugh.
Worst girl.
Worst girl.
You know what? She's made with Kazuya. Worst boy, worst girl.
No, I mean, bro, but she's toxic, bro. Like Kazuya is just a fucking simpy fucking douche.
He's an idiot.
Idiot.
Well, mommy is just she's just full on toxic.
Bro.
Yeah, she's talking about how she wants to rent the karaoke room for a school project.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ruka sees Kazuya getting flustered. It's like, why? Why she call him Kazuko?
Kazuko.
It's like all this, and then Kazuya's trying to make her to shut up, like shut the fuck up.
Right.
And then eventually, she goes in the karaoke room. It's like, oh yeah, I was here before. Then Kazuya's like, oh yeah, with Chica.
With everything always rolls back.
Yep. And Ruka
you're forgetting.
back.
By the way, you're forgetting. You're talking about the main things, but you did forget that what's his dick got that Kazuya managed to get Chizuro's actual phone number.
Yeah.
You did forget that because
he was hungover, and they looked at his phone and he saw the actual contacts.
Yep. And she's like,
not her rental work, like her actual legit phone number.
Yeah. So he's like, I don't know. I should play it cool. And he goes to the fridge because he's dying of fucking thirst.
Yeah.
And
hangovers will do that to you.
Yep, it does. And so he goes in there and he sees a nice juice and it says drunkard on the juice. And she's like, oh, Chizuru, I sent for you. Ad.
Yeah.
But then Chizuro's like, ugh, I guess. Ad.
Yeah, pretty much. Also, we find out how Mommy knows about Kazuya's job for his fucking friend Yoshiaki.
I don't know why they're friends. Like,
no, he was a bro to Kazuya. Even wanted to beat the chat. Like, dude, what the fuck?
I know, bro, but Kazuya. I don't know. What the fuck?
But yeah, then Ruka kicks on the door, all-star style. Somebody wants it. And then she's like, what's your relationship with Kazuya? Right, tell me right now, you motherfucker.
We're just classmates. You're his ex-girlfriend, aren't you? Well, guess what? We're together.
And then Bobby's like, what?
And he slept in my house and we had amazing sex and he came in my mouth and it tastes like fucking cheeseburgers.
Was she sucking corny? I got him back.
You know, I wanted to say Skittles and the word Skittles didn't come up, but cheeseburgers did. That's why I said cheeseburgers. But yeah, she goes off like, yo, like, oh, you're toxic.
And then Kazu's like, shut the fuck up right
now. Get out of his life. You're toxic. He's got me. We're together.
I was like, tell her, bitch.
He spent the night I spent the night at his house and we had a night of passionate love and he was all on top of me saying how much he loves me.
Also, she was mad. She was mad that what you call it, Chizuru is over. It's like, what? Why are you not? Why was she asleep? Like, no, because I told her. I was like, It's just...
right. You're like, oh, that just shows what an amazing girlfriend I am. I let him see Chizuru still.
And then Bobby's like, I'm leaving. Just
and
like Cole, all this going on, like Rook is gonna get stabbed right in an alleyway. She knows too much.
But you see fucking cold ass Ruka start like, oh, that must have been her bag. No, but that bag doesn't scream teen girl. It screams young adult woman. Mommy said that. And
but after all that, you see Ruka crying. It's like, I am your girlfriend, damn it. Like, I am.
I love you more than any of those girls. And I felt bad. I really felt bad.
I really do.
I felt so bad for her. Like, bro, I feel, something, honest to God, I'll say this now. Out of all the girls you see that get rejected, like the only person that was a harder rejection, I think, was Rim that I've seen so far. I
Yeah.
think no, I take that back. What's her face from uh from? Did you ever see Teen Snafu
What?
Climax?
Oh yeah, we watched. Yeah, we watched it.
Yeah, fucking what's her
Yeah,
face?
fuck.
Yui's there up there
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah, Yui's up there too. But no,
I
she's
felt.
getting up there, and she's getting up there in terms of like the rejections,
Yeah,
dude.
I felt so bad for Yui.
I know, me too.
Like first in front of her, and then again later.
Yui's probably the number one rejection, followed by Rim,
Yeah.
and then I mean she's getting up there, bro. Fucking Ruka's getting up there in terms of like rejected girl.
Don't worry, Hero will be next in Cuckoo's.
Hensachi. No, I'm kidding.
No, stop. I don't get.
Oh god.
They always do this. Like they want you to like the one you like is the one they're not gonna pick.
Basically.
Every time. Like what the fuck?
Basically.
But yeah, anyway, that happens. And then what you call it? Bobby's on the train, thinking things over. And then Cheezer is there, and she has the bag that mommy saw in the apartment.
Yep.
Like, hey, like, have a seat.
They have a casual conversation, and it's weird. And then they get off the same stop, and at the end, she's like, "Oh, before you leave, just to make sure, just want to ask, you're not seeing him, are you?" Gulp. No. Okay.
It's like, I thought so. Yeah.
And she's like, she's fucking lying. That fucking cunt.
All that happens. Like, all right.
She's fucking losing her shit. And that's the end of the episode. Until it's not the end of the episode.
Yeah.
There's an after credit.
There's an after credit.
I looked for it this time. I specifically looked for it. Yeah, because I was like, oh, these always have fucking after credits. So when I went to credit, I looked and I was like,
yeah,
oh, there's an after credit.
Yeah, and it's mommy this time.
Fucking psychopath.
She tried to look up Ruka, her account like private.
Yep.
And she sees Kazuya's grandmother.
First off, why does Kazuya's grandmother have a Twitter? Second off,
she's all up in social media. Granny gushing.
That bitch is crazy though.
No, she got laid. I don't.
No, I'm talking about fucking mommy. She's fucking crazy.
I'm talking about. Yeah, she as the grandmother.
Yes.
She said, "Oh yeah, Kazuya wanted me to meet her. That's kind of why I broke up with him."
Is it really?
No, she's just a bitch. Like all this, like a month, like let's break up, okay?
That spoiler that you told me, was that before she met Kazuya or after?
The pregnancy?
That's a spoiler. You're not supposed to say it.
Before.
Okay.
That was before Kazuya.
Mm.
Yeah. I think like 15, 16. Around there.
She's a whore.
She's a psychopath.
Slut.
Hold on. Psychopath.
Slut.
All right. Now let's do a Stepmother X.
All right. Let's start off with Stepmother.
You take over.
All right. I got to remember. Whoa. I didn't mean to click on this. Whoa.
It's drawing a blank for me. But I know there's a lot of.
Jesus Christ.
A lot of where?
No, I didn't mean to. All right, Stepmother. What the fuck happened, Stepmother?
I know foot fetish shit with a lot of feet stuff.
Foot fetish. Oh. Yeah. Okay. So, the episode starts off with. Well, does it start off with this?
I don't remember.
Fuck no. What? We didn't go over the one where they did the classroom, right? Where they're like the first place. We haven't gone over that one because it's been 2 weeks, right? Yeah, it's been 2 weeks. We haven't gone over it. Okay, so we'll start off with the 2 episodes before that. I start off with 2 episodes. I know Matt's trying to save time, but we kind of can't. Well, we can't, I guess. Basically, the previous episode before last, there's a competition, a healthy competition between what the fuck are their names? Not Minito. Mizuto and Yume. And so we find out Yume basically like fantasizes. Like all she thinks about is being the number one in the class, number one in the class, number one in the class, number one in the class. Her existence relies on her being number one in the grade. Mizuto is the only person to ever beat her, and he did it through no effort. And he continues to show to this day no effort. And it pisses off Yume because it's like, oh, like you show no effort, like, you know, whatever. And she's like, oh, well, unlike you, I have to actually try. They so much so they get into a fight, and we'll get into this. They start their finals, and Yume does fantastic, and they get their final grade back, and Yume is pissed off because you see that what's his face with no effort, what's it called? I think it was in a math class. No effort. What's it called? Mizuto just stops taking the test so he can get like a
Yeah,
lower grade.
she didn't fill in the final answer.
Yeah, he didn't fill in the final. It was like a final block, and she's like, "Oh, I know you know the answer to these questions. Why didn't you do it?"
Yeah.
And
This is the latest episode. Actually, this was we covered last one.
Is it?
Yeah, this is the current episode, the one we're talking about right now.
Is it?
Yep, I'm looking right now. Yeah,
I thought the whole
the last one was like a Mother's Day thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So we're
on the current one. We're on the current one. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
My bad. So, she gets pissed off. They get into a fight in front of their mother. Their mother's so funny because she's like so emotional, but she doesn't know how to be like a parent too. She's like, they start fighting. They're about to fucking like fight. Like, Yume's about to slap Mizuto, and her mother stops him, and then Mizuto gets pissed off, throws his book, and they start shouting, and the mother's like, "Oh, husband, no dano-sama!" Like she runs away.
Honey, they're gonna have angry sex later. You'll see.
Clump, 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 clump.
Is that all you see? You'll hear a wall banging.
I would love to see their interaction during sex. Like, is that all you got? Psh, pathetic, chimpo. Fucking.
It's like, I guess you're gonna call me Onichan when I top you.
For real, right? Chisai chimpo nichan.
Also, we finally see the other girls.
I haven't finished yet. We haven't gotten to the other girl yet. So I haven't finished yet. So anyway, so what's it called? They get into a fight, whatever happens. The next morning, what's it called? Mizuto is like, you know what? I think I do want a taste of the top today. And so they go through the rest of their finals week. They get their grades back. Mizuto tops her through like no effort. Again, fucking Yume is like,
that's how you word it. He topped her, damn it. He topped her, pal.
He topped her. He beat her. He beat her with no effort, just no effort. And Yume's number 2. And at first she gets like upset, you know, and Mizuto likes to gloat a little bit, and he's like, "Oh, you know, come take your spot back, little second place, Hime, Oni-chan, whatever the fuck," basically like talking shit. And so at first she gets like really emotional because it's like, oh man, my entire existence is over because I'm not number 1. All my friends are gonna leave me. I'm gonna be lonely. I have no friends. And then you see all of Yume's friends come over, and they're like, "You still got number 2. Like, you're really amazing. You're so smart. Like, I didn't get anywhere close to that. Like, you're great." And it makes her feel better. And she starts crying out of happiness that like she realizes that being number 1 isn't all that it's cracked up to be. And her friends they're not superficial. They're not gonna leave her just because she's not the smartest person in the grade anymore. And so that made her feel good. And then, yes, as Matt said, we get our new girl. Our new girl is Mizuto's friend. Her name is
Isana Higashira.
Isana. So we'll call her Isana. Easy.
Yep.
So we see Isana, and they're in the same grade, and they are like super close, super duper close. And there's also, I guess, some foot fetish shit going on because she loves taking off her socks and shoes. And then when she's done and she's gonna leave, she asks Mizuto, "Do you mind putting my socks on?" and twinkles her little toes in his face. And
I didn't know the person of iCarly was directing this.
Yeah. And so they put the socks on, but no, they get along with, they talk about manga, and they have like similar personalities and stuff, but she's also very shy. And so as they're walking out, you see Minami and Yume, they're together, they're walking out, and they're like, "Yo, who's the girl with you?" And they're like, "Oh, it's my friend." And like the girl's like hiding like a cat, like like looking around and shit, like rar. Anyway, see what I did there? And so it's a little awkward at first, but then as you see their interactions, like as Yume sees the interactions between Isana and Mizuto, she gets jealous and she's like, "Wow, I can't believe I feel jealousy." Da 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 da. And so she starts acting like normal. She starts acting like positive and happy and not like a bitch to her fucking brother. And her brother's like, "She's not a bitch. This isn't normal. This is fucking weird." And so he goes to Isana and she's like, "Hey, my sister's being weird. My stepsister's being weird." And she's like, "Oh, why don't you just like talk to her about it, like for real?" And they're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
really? Like that's simple. Just confront her about it." Okay, so they have a confrontation, and everybody lays everything out. Basically, Mizuto doesn't like the fact that she's not acting like a bitch. Why are you not acting like a bitch? And then Yume eventually admits that, like, "Hey, I'm a little jealous. Like the fuck." And she's like, "Oh, well, you don't have to be jealous, just a friend." Da 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 da. Like, all right, whatever. And she's like, "I'm not a creep for being jealous, right?" She's like, "No, you're a total fucking creep. Creep as fuck. You jealous of your little brother's friend, of your big brother's friend, I should say, big brother's friend." And so they have the conversation, and then the next day, as they're leaving, they have proper introductions. And Yume and Isana, they have a conversation. Same thing with Minami. They all have a conversation, and everything's cool. They all walk home together, and you can tell that there's something developing somewhere between Isana and Mizuto. Specifically, I think Minami, was it Minami or was it Yume that straight up asked Isana, like, "Hey, do you have feelings for Mizuto?" And it was Yume, and then she blushes and she's like, "There's only 2 times that I've ever wanted to be a guy. This time, and then the first time I got my period." And then so that made me chuckle. It made me chuckle. And then Mizuto's like, "See, like, would a girl that likes me talk that crudely about her period?" And they're like, "No, you're right. You don't talk about periods with guys. What the fuck?" And so that's how they go. They have a conversation, but then Minami can see through it. Minami's like, "I think that there's something going on. You want to help me get them together?" And Yume's like, "Huh? What?" And that's how the episode ends.
Yeah, it was a fun episode.
It was a very fun episode.
Fun new character.
Yes. I hope she wins, but she's not going to.
No.
I hate it.
I know. It's not harm, technically, so.
Ugh. Speaking of harm.
Cuckoos. Couple of cuckoos.
Oh, I thought we were going to do all the ecchis.
Oh, yeah. We'll do Harem Labyrinth. I wasn't good on this one.
Because they didn't fuck?
Well, no. The first half I really didn't care about. It was just more of the simple, they beat the first boss.
Mm-hmm.
That was really, they do it a couple of times.
Yeah, well, you get the herbology skill, and then, I mean,
yeah, because there was like a herb class type of thing.
Yeah, herbology. So basically, after they defeated the tree, the monster tree, they get a leaf, and Roxanne unlocks a new skill called herbology, or herbalist, that basically allows her to take leaves and such and make medicine. So they defeat the boss, as Matt said several times. They get enough leaves, and they make poison medicine. And what's his face? What's his name?
Which one? Oh, the guy, the main guy?
Yeah, I forget his name. Michio's like, "Oh shit, they're poison animals," and they're like, "Yeah, of course. The fuck, why wouldn't there be?" He's like, "Oh, let's get fucking antidotes." So they go buy antidotes and they make some antidotes themselves, and that's that. You see them basically as they're walking home. What's his dick? Michio notices some bandits that are spying.
He pins Roxanne against the wall and says, "Don't look."
But those are bandits, and they're outside of the slave house. So they walk in the slave house, and they tell the guy, they talk to the slave master, and it's like, "Hey, you got some bandits outside of your house." And he's like, "Well, that was to be expected. The bandit that you brought in, somebody bought the bandit, and they were talking to the bandit, and they requested that the bandit stay in the house with a door that has an unlocked key. And they paid for him, so I have to listen to him." So he's like, "Yeah, that wouldn't shock me." He's like, "I wasn't worried too much about it because who the fuck is gonna rob a slave house in the middle of the biggest town in like, why would anybody do that?" And he's like, "Oh, well, that's fine. We warned you. It is what it is." So as Michio's gonna leave, Roxanne asks a favor, like, "Hey, I really was appreciative of the women in the house that taught me how to be who I am, and they took really good care of me. I want to take care of them." So he's like, "All right, I understand." So he offers his services to the slave master as a bodyguard. and the slave master accepts. They end up staying in the house. They get paid for it. They wake up, of course, with a kiss, and the episode ends with.
I thought it was a blowjob for a second.
I thought so too.
I was like, the angle they were was like, she blowing him.
I thought so too, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to see this shit on fucking.
Well, no, it was a good morning kiss. Like, it's morning. It looks very dark out.
And they censored the kiss. I didn't even bother though. Like, I was hoping there would be sex, so I can like go back, like I'd have the last couple episodes and go back to the ecchi version. But they censored the kiss.
Yeah, the kiss wasn't even that bad.
The kiss and fucking engaged kiss was better.
Yeah, that. Yeah, and then and that was where the episode ended. Really, you're like, oh, like it's time to begin.
Yeah, and then they blow the fucking lights out, and everybody's in the dark about to face these bandits. So, it was all right.
Yeah, not the best one, but
no,
it's expected.
It's to be honest, it's the best and worst ecchi of the three.
Yeah,
it's the best because you actually get sex. It's the worst because it's like the shittiest story.
Yeah.
Out of the three, Vermeil is way better, and then Stepmom is got the best story of the three. But even then,
out of the three, though, I think Vermeil's better by slightly.
Vermeil's the best, I think, as a whole. As an overall whole, Vermeil is the best because you get ecchi and you get solid story. And so let's transition to Vermeil before we move on to Cuckoos.
Yes, Vermeil. Yes,
a really, really good episode of Vermeil.
Yeah, there's probably their best one.
It is probably definitely their best one.
Yeah, Vermeil is still in her psycho true form.
And
then what you call it, Alto is there. He sees him. Vermeil's out of control. She goes to try to kill Obsidian, and Alto jumps in the middle of it.
Yep, like no, don't do it.
Stabbed through the heart.
Yep.
And Vermeil's like, fuck.
Yep.
And Thirsty Girl's like, I can't do anything.
Yep.
Yeah, and then also try to talk. He still says like it's okay.
So Alto passes out, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And then so Vermeil gets pissed off, and goes after him again, and then this time Alto wakes up from his fucking blood
being
loss.
Stabbed from the heart.
he's pouring, just gushing blood everywhere.
Yeah.
And he hugs Vermeil and manages to snap Vermeil out of his out of her rage by saying like, it's okay, everything is okay, I don't blame you, it's not your fault. And he dies.
Yep.
Alto dies. And everyone's shocked. Vermeil's still pissed off. Vermeil goes after Obsidian and manages to, corner him. And Obsidian's like, nope, you're not going to defeat me. And so Obsidian stabs himself in the neck with his
he injects himself with nanomachines, son. No.
Yeah. No, nanomachines. And so basically the injection that he put in is basically the souls, I believe, of demons that he has killed, like lesser demons.
Yeah.
And so he becomes a lesser demon himself, thinking like, you can't beat me, I'm a demon now, just like you.
Well, and then he gets stopped by Elena.
No, he does not, Elena. Incorrect.
Not Elena.
No, not Elena. So he goes after the fight, and what's her face? Vermeil fucking attacks, and she's like, "Oh, like wow, it's crazy, like but I'm still a demon." And then it was Chris.
Oh, Chris sorry, it was Chris.
Chris came and fucking attacked Obsidian, pinned him down, and then it was what's her face with the final blow. It was Vermeil. Vermeil hit the final blow on Obsidian. They end up arresting Obsidian. And that paper thing, I guess, was it an accomplice or was it a part?
We don't know.
We don't know. It was an accomplice basically to Obsidian. And so they arrest Obsidian, and
that
basically paper thing disappears. Alto is again basically dead, and what's her face?
Vermeil.
No, the other girl.
Lilia
was like, "Oh my god, like you're gonna let him die," and Vermeil's like, "No, he's not gonna die. He'll be fine." And she kisses him passionately, and his wound magically heals. Wow! So later on, you see Vermeil. She's still naked. I don't know why they didn't give her clothes. She's still naked at the top of like the dueling place.
Right.
And before we continue, basically, Chris returned back over to Rex's side, which was cute.
Yeah.
I thought
that was nice.
Cute. That was very nice. That was a nice little touch. Anyway, so we see Alto speak to Vermeil on top of the dueling tower, thanks him again. Like, thank you, like I'm saved, I'm appreciative. And Vermeil's like, I'm sorry. And Alto's like, well, what are you sorry for? Everything's good. I'm alive. Everything's good. Like,
He's
no,
like, not quite.
no, you're dead. And he's like, huh? Nani? And
Yeah.
she was like, yeah, you got stabbed through the heart. So you don't have a heart. And she's like, well, I'm alive. Like, yeah, because I
You have
gave
my heart.
you my heart. And he's like, what?
Yeah.
And she
So
goes, in
now
order to save you, I gave you my heart. So you have the heart of a demon. You now need demon mana. And if you die, I die.
and
If
if
I die,
you die.
you die.
They have
And
that soul contract, the soul binding.
Alto is shook, like, holy shit. And then he's like, why the fuck would you do that? And she's like, I didn't want you to die, you know?
And
And
then and
so,
now Vermeil is like being distant towards Alto.
yeah, you see Vermeil over the next couple days be distant. And now it's the opposite. It's the opposite ends where Alto needed to feed Vermeil. Vermeil now needs to feed Alto demon mana in order for
Yep.
the heart to continue to take. Like,
Yeah,
like when you get a transplant.
she said not. She even said it's not going to be all the time, just for a few years till
No,
it gets used to
she
him.
said like a few decades.
But I would say like it's basically it's until he gets used to it.
Yeah, and then she's like, well, you won't need me anymore. And then they have a confrontation basically about feelings, and they basically kind of confirm that, like, yo, they have legitimate feelings for each
Yeah,
other.
he kissed her without taking mana,
Yep.
and then she remembers stuff like you should kiss someone if you really like
Yep.
them, type
And
of
she gets
thing.
super embarrassed, and while Alto, who still is still himself, he runs away because I can't believe I just kissed her.
Yep.
That was cute. But it was that's good storytelling. More good
Yeah.
storytelling. Have you seen a new visual?
Yes. Can't wait.
Looking interesting.
Yeah, we're at the halfway point for it, so
We are indeed. Solid shit, pal.
solid shit, pal.
All
Alrighty.
right, let's do cuckoo.
Now cuckoos.
Yes, you've been dying to do cuckoos.
The detective sisters,
Tante was.
Erika and Sachi. Basically, Sachi wants to spy on Hiro. Saying, why does Oni-chan like her? What's so great about her? And you just find out she's just the nicest human being.
She's perfect.
Yes,
There is
like
nothing wrong
nice
with
to
her at
children.
all.
Can do sports.
Turns in 100 yen coin. Guys, you know how much 100 yen is? $1. Less than $1.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean though. Even though Sachi's like, oh, she's gonna steal it. Oh, that fucking bitch.
Bro.
But no, gives it straight to the police.
Like, wow, she's like, wow, that was so much trouble. She's like, no, it's not that much trouble. I'm sure somebody's looking for it. No one is looking for $1, honey. Well, apparently
but yeah, again at the park, she's playing with kids.
Yes.
And then they're like, and then Sachi's with Erika's like, so we're basically just stalking at this point, right? It's like, yes.
Basically.
And yeah, like, and of course, Umino is calls them fucking dumbasses. Because they are.
They are.
And again, a couple of cuckoos. They're fucking stupid. So yeah, now we see Sachi go into the school that Erika and Umino are in. And he's like, why are you here? Like, oh, I'm here to see someone. And it's Hiro.
Yeah. She's like, I'm going to get
Hiro's Sachi's tour guide.
Yep.
Because she wants to go to the school.
Yep, she is.
And then Naki's freaking out. I was like, shit, what's Sachi going to say to her? All's going on. Naki's with Erika on top. We don't see much of the tour bus. You see Sachi and Hiro outside. Yep. Nagi sees them out the window.
Yep.
He can't hear them. He's like, shit, like, what are you talking about? You see them about to talk, but we don't know what they say to each other. Hopefully we'll find out soon. And then Nagi just runs down, and then Sachi gets mad. Like, why are you here? Stop stalking Oni. So we guys talk about. Don't worry about it. None of your business. So that was it with that, and then we're at the restaurant, the parents, their shop. Nagi's there, Sachi's there, Erika's there, and then Sachi talks about how she wants to join the school they're in.
Mm-hmm.
And then the dad's like, oh, no, sorry. The mom's like, okay, yeah, we'll just sell the shop.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not have a job.
Mm-hmm.
Then Sachi gets pissed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't sell this just because of me. And, of course, the mother, the former delinquent she is, she's like, oh, you want an ass woman, pal?
Saxena!
Yeah, so they're all arguing back and forth. The father tries to jump in, like, you stay out of this. Like, okay.
Okay.
And then Erica
It's
jumps
funny
in.
how like beta the men are.
He tried last time and like, all right, not now.
Right.
Yeah, Erica eventually jumps in. It's like, oh, you guys don't have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Ordeal. And then Erica's like, oh yeah, I've always wanted to be in a family fight. all of us.
It's a game to you, huh?
Yep. It's a game and I'm winning, pals.
Gamer.
But yeah, this was a fun episode.
It was a fun episode. And yeah, just I'm trying to think of what's next, really. I'm curious to see how
let drama ensue now that Sachi's probably gonna be in that school now.
well, yeah. I'd say so.
Well, she's still junior high, so
You know what I hate though? One thing I've been thinking about is that they teased the cuckoo egg dilemma and they haven't paid that off whatsoever. There hasn't been a single hint.
Unless you're watching the OP, you see the eggs there.
Yeah.
So,
what does that entail?
Yeah, so unless we see the father again to talk about it, it ain't happening.
That kind of annoys me.
It does annoy you. Moving on.
All right.
When will Imu make his move?
Who knows?
At the finale, of course.
I don't even think so. It wouldn't shock me if they extend it because fuck it, right?
Yeah, but it was a Valentine episode-ish.
My Valentine.
Yeah, so basically, Urushi has a Valentine chocolate for Imu.
Valentine Day Choco.
Yeah, Choco. She's basically trying to figure out when to give it to him.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, keeps failing.
Yep.
It's like, wants to talk. Classmate. What? Or what happened? What else happened in that?
What's her face? Mari? Is it Mari?
Maki.
Yeah, Maki basically is like, hold on, what's this? What's this email? What's this? Oh, this ain't important. Sorry, I thought something would work. Anyway,
sorry, not Maki. Mikage.
Who's Mikage?
The one that's with Takeru, because Takeru was going to be at the Shogi Club, and then the other girl's like,
you're not. No, I was talking about how Maki was telling her about what like when to give her the when to give him the flower, like or not the flower, sorry,
the chocolate. Yeah.
Like build it
That's
up,
right.
build it up, and then give it to him. Like, he'll love it. Like, all right. And so then, as you see that, meanwhile while that conversation's happening, you see what's his face, Sakurako. I call it Sakurako. It's easier.
Yeah,
Sakurako and Takeru, they are talking with Ayumu, and they're just having conversation about like, oh, here's your chocolate, and she gives them like one little piece of chocolate, and you see Takeru is like, like he loves chocolate, and Ayumu's just, hey, it's friend chocolate, appreciate it, friend choco, tomodachi choco.
Yep.
And they're like, oh, have you gotten chocolate from Ayumu? And she's like, no, not yet. And they're like, oh, like we'll help you out. And Takeru's like, yeah, I'll help you out. I'll go over to the Shogi Club. We'll set the mood, and then I'll dip. Yeah. And then you guys will like have the perfect mood. She'll give you the chocolate. And of course, Sakurako, being the jealous girl that she is, tries to hypnotize.
Basically, she's trying to tell Takeru to read the room, like, hey, let them be alone.
Yeah, no, I don't think that was at all.
Sometimes
sometimes yes, but in this particular instance, no. She was just being jealous and wanted him like to herself.
Yeah, because she's gonna hypnotize him because she gave him like a special chocolate, and she took his back.
Yeah, so basically she thought he was gonna hypnotize. Well, as long as I don't look at it, you can't hypnotize me. So she starts to tickle him to try and find the chocolate. Finds the chocolate, takes the chocolate back, and they're like, "You're not gonna get the chocolate back unless you agree. You're not gonna go." All right, fine, I won't go. Okay, here's your chocolate.
I was like, you like chocolate? I was like, yeah, I like chocolate.
Yeah, I like chocolate. Who likes chocolate? I like chocolate. But no, anyway, yeah, so that happens. And so we see Ayumu. Yeah, Ayumu and Urushi. They go to the club. they go to club, they play, everything's good, and they're like, all right, you want to go home? All right, and it's awkward, like there's tension, and what's it called?
and what you call it? Ayumu is he's looking away.
Yeah, he's putting the
Urushi's like,
board away.
And Urushi's like, I could sneak the chocolate in his bag. She
And
goes
what
over
happens,
there.
Matt?
She drops it.
No, she falls on her face.
I'm saying, like she falls on the face. She drops it,
and she drops it. She's like, "Oh, are you good? Yeah, I'm good."
Yeah, and he sees it.
He sees the chocolate, and she's like, "What's this?" Like, here, sort of, just take it. She's all embarrassed. Take the choco, and he's super happy. He got choco. He's like, "Oh, thank you so much. I'm a treasure forever." Like, ah, it's like awkward, but so that was cool. The next part of this episode, though, was also I like the next part of the episode more. It was kind of funny to me. It was funnier to me.
Oh yeah, it's like Ayumu failed his test.
No, we'll get to that momentarily.
Yeah.
So Ayumu, what's her face? Irushi comes to club and she sees Ayumu studying. Like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm studying for finals. Oh, okay. And she's like, hey, I hate to break it to you, but can I use this time to study for my finals? And she's like, what? No shogi? Shogi?
Yeah.
And Ayuma's like, wait, don't you need to study? And she's like, no, I just need to pay attention to lectures and I get good grades. I don't have to study. And she's like, oh, how about I tutor you? And he's like, oh, will you? Please. Onegaishimasu. And so so she begins to tutor him, and they're like, let's go to the library. So they go to the library, but everybody and their mother's in the library. So
Sakuraku.
Yeah, and
like, hey, come here.
Yeah, go ahead. Well, just sit behind the desk. Like, we got space. It'll be cramped, but we'll have space. It's good. So they begin to tutor. Things are going well. And then you see Urushi look over to the side, and you see Takeru and Sakuraku also studying, and they're doing it way cuter. Like, they're flirting and stuff in between. It's really cute. So Urushi pauses and is like, hey, are they dating? And Ayuma's like, not that I know of. They're like, oh, so she just likes him. I guess. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. And so she recognizes some of the mannerisms, like leaning on him and laughing and being jovial, like some of those same mannerisms that she was exhibiting with Ayumu.
She tries to do it.
Yeah, and so she's become super duper embarrassed, and she's like, "Oh, that's fine. Just give me a moment. Give me a moment." So all's well that ends well there, and then so they take the test. Everything goes swimmingly for everybody, and they get the test results back. Ayumu goes to club with Irushi. They did they play shogi or did they not play shogi?
I think they were starting to.
They were gonna play shogi, and then
the white
Ayumu was like, "Stop," and he's like, "Huh?" And so Ayumu gives Urushi a white day gift, which is basically a reciprocation of her chocolate. And she's like, thank you for the chocolate. I really appreciated it. Here's a return gift. I hope you like the chocolate. And that stars Urushi. And then he's like, second thing, so your tutoring was great. I loved it. It helped me out tremendously, and I answered all the questions right. But I answered them in the wrong column, and I failed the test.
So she still gets to do a makeup test, so he can't be.
He has to go to rudimentary classes during the summer, and they can't play
for a couple weeks. Yeah,
yeah, and they can't play.
And he's like, "I'm so sorry,"
and she's like, "What? Like, you imbecile! How the fuck did you fuck that up?" Basically, what she was saying in her head. Without saying.
Fun episode.
It was a very fun episode.
Oh, we also forgot to mention for the other couple when he opened the chocolate, it was a hard chocolate, not a friendship one. I was like, oh,
it was a love choco.
Yep,
it was adorable. It really
was. Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting.
Another wholesome episode. I almost cried again.
I love Ray.
I know you love Ray. I love Yaika, man. I adore Yaika. She is a dream daughter. If I have a daughter, I swear I want her so bad. She's so adorable.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a birthday episode.
It's a Tanjobi Omedeto episode.
But yeah, it's Yaika's birthday.
Yes, it is.
And then Toru want to do something nice.
Every time I see Toru, I think of Honda. I just can't. You can't hear Toru without thinking of Toru from.
Yeah, so Kirishima. We'll call it Kirishima.
Kirishima, yeah.
Kirishima. Well, before the birthday, Kirishima's with Yaika. They're about basically picked her up from school.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the donut shop, and they see Ray, the new guy, the childhood friend of Kirishima's,
who's super flaming queer.
Hey, I love him. Shut up.
He is so queer.
He's super supportive, though.
He is. I don't know. I'm not hating on him. I'm just stating a fact that he's super.
I don't. Oh, he
queer.
is, but no, he's just lovable though. You just want to pinch him. That's why I pinch the cheeks.
He
he
pinched the cheeks all right, pal.
Yeah, but he keeps trying to hug Kirishima.
Yeah, he's
like,
pinching
no.
those cheeks all right, pal.
He does. Oh yeah, he does too. But no, Ray is basically talking to Yaika, and now he's like starting to see why Kirishima is like calm, collective. It's because it's because of Yaika. Then we get to the next day. It's Yaika's birthday. Yeah, Tora wants to do something nice. Who's the Kanami? The aunt. Is that her name? The aunt.
Let me look it up real quick.
Kurosaki.
Yeah. The red haired girl. That's the sister of the girl in the coma, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I believe it's her.
Kanami.
Yep, Kanami. Okay.
Yeah, Kanami Kurosaki.
Yep, Kanami. She's like, oh yeah, she likes the omelet over rice.
She's hot. She's definitely like MILF material.
Oh yeah, no, she definitely.
I would definitely want to slip my chimpo on her.
What you call it? So Kirishima can't take Gaika to the park. So the goons got to do it. So Kei and.
But there's a reason why.
Yeah, because he's making the gift.
He's making a gift, and we find out why he's making the gift later on.
Yeah, but what you call it? Kei and what's the other guy's name?
Tauchi or some shit like that.
I have no idea.
You have basically Segura.
The orange hair.
Yeah, it's
Aoi. Yeah, that's his other name. Aoi.
Aoi. Yeah. Aoi.
Yeah. Kei.
I don't go by their first names, dude. I always go by their last names.
Yeah, Sugihara.
Sugihara. I was gonna say Segura.
Yeah, basically they took her to the park. They're gonna play jump rope, and this random white chick.
Yes, and she is white. She's a guy.
She's a transfer student.
Yes.
Sarah. Her name is Sarah.
Her name is Sarah. Yes.
But yeah, she starts randomly playing with Yaika.
And at first, Yaika's like, she's like, well, this is weird. Like, what the fuck? She's like,
she never made friends before.
There's no personal space with this girl either. Like, she's like, hey, you're a girl, I'm a girl, let's be friends and play. And she's like, what?
The fuck's a friend?
Friends? Nani? Tomodachi? Nani?
Yes, all that was going on. Eventually,
they warm up to each other.
What?
They warm up to each other.
They do warm up to each other, and it got to the point where they go to the Sakuragi area, the house. Even the father's like, okay, you can have a friend.
You got a friend
in me. Yeah, we even see Sarah's dad. He doesn't know personal space either.
Nope, he doesn't know jack shit either. And he's definitely American. No, he's French. I think he's French, right?
I thought they were Italian.
Italian, yes, Italian. Thank you.
Yeah.
Because they said happy birthday in Italian.
Yeah. So they're Italians. Also, we're missing. Who was the guy that got out of jail?
The childhood rival of
Kirishima.
But
did we know his name?
Yeah, they said his name and I just forgot it. If I'm looking back at the
it wasn't Hayami, right? Because he's dead. Wasn't the one that got hit with a shovel after being buried underground by the mob boss?
Don't recall.
I don't recall either.
Couldn't tell you, pal.
Yeah, we saw him at the beginning, and we'll get to him at the end.
Indeed.
But yeah, basically, we're at the birthday party. Sarah's dad's over. They're all hanging out. He's even talking to the mob boss. And even he's like opening up, talking. And he talks about how they got to Japan, like how they love Japan. They moved to Japan because of those cherry blossoms. And that's what Sakuragi means. So he's of course he's like interested, like
no,
that type of thing. I'll go. So the whole family's making friends. And then we celebrate her birthday, and and of course Kirishima gives her the things. The omelet, the thing.
Oh, I thought you said like I was like that's not that. Oh yeah, no, the
The omelet
omurice.
over rice.
And we find out the reason why he made omurice is that at the very beginning when he's having that conversation with
Konami.
Kurosaki, with Kurosaki with Konami, um she asks like, "What do you want to give Yaika?" Like you're thinking like a physical gift, and she's like, "Oh, what did you get as a kid?" And she's like, "I didn't." He's like, "I didn't get any gifts as a kid. Like we're poor." And she's like, "Oh, well, I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be a physical gift either." And he's like, "I want to cook." And she's like, "Oh, that's a lovely thing. Do you cook?" No. Okay, well, I'll work with you. And you
Yeah.
see him throughout the episode trying to cook in between everything, and he fucking like mutilates his finger. He mutilates a couple of his fingers. We find out at the end,
Yeah.
but he makes the omurice, and we see also basically the reason why he chose omurice in particular is it's the same dish that his mother would make, and every year he would get no physical gift, but his mother would go through his like her damnedest to make her son that omurice and wish him
Yeah.
happy birthday and write it on the omelet and ketchup. And so he tried to do the same thing for Yaika, and it didn't come out as pretty as his mother's, but the sentiment was really, really, really lovely. It was a really nice sentiment, and
No.
it made me feel. And Karishima or not Karishima, Yaika,
Kirishima.
Yaika was like, like, hey, can I eat this? And she goes, yeah, and she actually felt like emotion herself when her aunt was like, hey, Kirishima really like he tried really hard to make this for you, like he worked really hard to do this, and she's like, oh my god, he made this for me, like she like in the same way that she had made the chocolate cake specifically for him. It
Right.
was like a return in essence, and so she felt emotion, and she's like, can I eat it? And she's like, of course. She eats it. Umoy, oishi.
Yeah.
And that's how the episode ends, and it was really, really, really lovely.
No, I enjoy that one a lot.
This is so wholesome.
I agree. Moving on, Overlord.
A solid episode.
God, a fucking Death Knight dies.
Two of them.
I know. Like finally, someone from the side gets fucked.
I mean, but they died by default because they fell in a fucking
I
endless
know,
trap.
but it still counts.
Yeah, death is a death. It does
You
count.
figured like they would probably survive that fall.
Psych.
Yeah, I guess not.
Nope.
I'll let you recap this one because this one's a blur for me.
I'm not gonna lie, kind of is a blur for me too. Give me a moment.
Basically, Ainz
Oh, give me a
helps
moment. Give me
helps
a
the
moment.
dwarves.
I gotta think of it. Helps the dwarves.
The Death Knights come.
Yep.
I guess he's Quaggas.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I get the idea. All right. So, yeah. I mean, basically everything Matt said in particular. What does this offer up? What is this? Labor Day. Oh, no, I thought somebody sold my television. All right. Anyway. Yeah. So we see basically, Ainzo comes over. The city is about to be overrun, and Ainzo comes over and they slaughter all of the Quaggas, slaughter them, right? And then they're like, hey, Ainzo goes like, take me to your leader. I'm here to help you. And so they go to like what is this? The war like council, I guess, or like city council. Basically, they go to like the city council, and that Ainzo Goal says like, hey, I'm here to make a friendly relationship. I'll help you with the Quaggas. I'll help you take your city back. And he's like, I want to establish trading goods. I'll give you guys food and stuff that you got food and alcohol that you guys don't have.
Just surrender to me.
I want no, not yet. I want your minerals as well as in trade. Okay, that's fine. And he's like, I also want you to give me all of your runes. And they're like, oh, we don't really use the runes, whatever. Like, exactly. So just give them to me. And the guy's like, well, I don't want to give it to you. And he's like, well, if you're not going to use the technology, it's a dying technology. I'm going to have them make exclusive technology for me. What do you say? And so they're like, all right, we'll think about it. They think about it, and they're like, all right, you got a deal. And so beforehand, Ainzo Gol goes over to, I guess, to the dwarf, like the rune people, and they're all like confused, like, oh, why are we here? Da 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 da. And so Ainzo Gol shows them a sword, and it's a beautiful sword, and it's got like 20 something runes. It's got a lot of runes, and they're like,
Right.
what's the most runes you can make? And he's like, I need something that has 20 runes. What's the most you can make? Like the most ever made was 6, and that was for an ancient weapon that we no longer have. So, like, there's no way for us to do that. And he's like, oh, well, with my technology and me helping you guys, I want you guys to surpass your limits. I want you to make me this technology. Together, we'll push boundaries. What do you say? And he basically rallies the troops. And, everybody's happy. They're like, yeah, I want to do it. 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 And at the end, as he's leaving, one of the dwarfs comes out and he's like, so it's official. Like, we're all like gone, right? And he goes, yeah, you all guys are all coming to my kingdom. And he gets upset and he starts crying that at the end of the day, his kingdom basically fucking gave him up for nothing, as he sees at first when he thinks. And he's like, you know what, I understand that you'll be sad because you're leaving your kingdom, but a one man's trash is another man's treasure. And so although your country doesn't value you, I value you, and I'll help you realize your value. And helps him going. And so at the end, the next day they prepare to go out to try and get the kingdom. And the same dwarf was like, I want to lead you, and Ainzo goes like, well, I need you to make me runes. I don't need you to die leading me back to your place. And he goes over and whispers to him like, hey, there's a book on runes keeping that's one of our what's it called, our treasures. It's in the treasury. I want to take that book with us when we go over to your kingdom. And Ainzo Go was like, isn't it kind of fucked up that you're trying to steal from your own country? And he's like, a country that doesn't want me and doesn't want the technology doesn't necessarily need this book anymore, now do they? And he's like, I'm gonna have a random bout of forgetfulness and not remember or see anything that happened when we passed this treasury. And so he takes the dwarf along. And I think that's how the episode ends. I did skip over the fact that in this initial battle, when they open the gates up afterwards, you see all the rotted corpses, and you see the Death Knights attack the Quaggas, and they kill a bunch of Quaggas. And as they're trying to cross this bridge that through this large chasm, the Great Chasm, the general of the Quaggas is like, yo, cut the bridge, and they're struggling. And so what he does is he, in one leap, fucking leaps over, slices all the cords to the bridge, and he sacrificed I don't know how many Quaggas, and he manages to kill the two Death Knights. And that actually, as Matt said, it kind of shocks Ainzo Bull.
He's like, oh, this guy is
yeah, he must be a human. Like it's just
but
nothing.
But he doesn't know what happened. Yeah.
But yeah, exactly, he doesn't know what happened. So I did skip over that part. But yeah, that's basically the whole gist of Overlord. Solid episode.
Alrighty. Lycurus Recoil.
Another solid episode.
Yeah. Chisato and Majima are having an argument about what the guy looks like with the drawings.
No, Majima's the bad guy.
Sorry. Yeah, it was about Majima. Sorry. Chisato and Takeda.
Takeda, yeah, are having an argument.
Yeah, she saw it. Yeah, the description, even though Chisato knows what he looks like because she fought him in the last episode.
Yeah, so they're in HQ right now trying to draw up a fucking sketch. And one sketch looks like a fucking guy with special needs. The other guy looks like freaking the Joker without the lipstick.
Yeah, so like Takeda got the hair wrong, the face wrong.
Yeah, and the other girl got the
she got the hair right, just
yeah, the hair right, just not the design.
Yeah, so like, all right, we're not getting anywhere.
And then you see the other girl who's like, oh, she looks like this, and it's a beautiful piece, but it looks nothing like him.
Yeah.
And so the other girl is like, maybe we should make art a requirement as being part of Licorice.
And they're like, yes, we should.
Yeah, right. And so, yeah, basically the episode starts off that way. As you continue on with the episode, you basically see that what's it called? Majika is trying to analyze the situation. Like, yo, how did this girl like dodge my bullets from point blank range? It makes no sense. Like, it's like she knew everything was gonna happen, and she came and shot. And so as they're trying to find information, Hacker is like, hey, the only thing I found on her is that she was part of that
tower incident.
The tower incident. Were you there? And he's like, was I there? I was the one who blew up the tower.
and he found out he was the one that shot at him, that she shot at him.
Yeah, we find out basically that they said, oh, that's an unconfirmed rumor, so it's probably bullshit, but she killed all the terrorists. And they're like, yep, there was a single girl, the little tiny girl. Like, wow, imagine that tiny little girl is this girl now. That crazy.
And he's like, yeah, it's her.
It's her. And so he's excited. And so they end up, what's it called? She's like, oh, by the way, you got to go to this police station and enter this USB drive into their computer so I can try and get more links. And so they go and they completely fucking destroy a police station with fucking machine guns and destroy everything. And they're right in blood. Like Licorice, I challenge you.
Yep.
And at the end of the episode, I can skip to this part at least. You see that they put the thumb drive inside of the main police computer, and that's been trying to basically find a hit. And at the end, they managed to find the hit. But that's not the main focus of the episode. The main
The
focus
main focus is on Mika.
on Mika, yes. And so Mika gets a text message from Yoshi-san, and was like, hey, I want to talk to you. Meet me at Forbidden tonight. I want to talk to you about Chisato's future. And as this text message comes in, as Chisato's passing by, and with her keen eye, she notices and reads the text message in an instant and starts worrying about like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? So she thinks at first, she basically gathers all the people in the room. She's like, oh, we're going bankrupt. Like, we need to find out what the fuck is going on. So they end up all like they hack what's it called, the system, find out
Kurumi hacks, about this other bar they're talking about. Like
they find
nicer, fancier bar.
What the fuck? Oh,
What?
I heard a loud noise and somebody's riding around.
Yeah, so Mizuki, Kurumi, Chisato, and Takeda.
They found a really nice secretive bar. They dress up really, really pretty, and they go through and they start eavesdropping on the conversation. And Chisato finds out that Yoshi is the Allen sponsor. He's the one that saved her life. And of course she blows her cover, and
of course Takeda, bumps into her ass.
That was cute. Face first into her ass.
Yep.
Got
the Yuri bait's real.
They really should make this a Yuri, bro. If this was a Yuri, this would be a top 3 show. If this was a Yuri,
that's what Sean said. Yeah,
I agree with him. That's why I'm making a comment on the podcast. Truth be told, I guess we're gonna talk. Are we gonna talk about this one next? No, are we gonna save it for Engaged Kiss? We're gonna make that the co-main.
We could do Engaged as co-main.
Or should we do
Oh, actually, we'll do Call of Night and Abyss as the last 2.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. So it's so tough, man, this season with the animes. But in any case, so she goes, I've always been looking forward to
looking for you,
save me. Thank you so much, whatever. But you can tell like Yoshi's like not happy, and he's like, I'm not supposed to like confirm that I was the one who saved you. That's part of the policy, and whatever. So
Mika follows him.
Yeah, Mika follows them. And Mika's like, stay here. I'll come back and talk to you. So she goes in. They go.
Also, before that though, Chisato's like, oh, he's not meeting with a girl. It's a guy.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, he swings that way. Oh, but love is love. Like,
turns out he probably does.
He may, because
we see that moment with them in the elevator next.
Yeah, so they're in the elevator having this conversation, and what's it called? And Yoshi-san is like, hey, like, yo, like she has a talent for killing. Like, we need that talent of killing. And Mika's trying to defend Chisato, and so he pulls his gun out and he's like, don't think I don't have the balls to shoot you. And he called Yoshi-san.
They put the hand on his chest like, you don't.
Yeah, he called his bluff. He's like, no, you don't. And then you see the flashback, as Matt said. You see them from the moment that they meet, the moment that they converse. They see like there's a sprinkle of like joy and happiness when they're together. The way he whispers like in his ear, like, you don't remember this. Like, there was definitely some sexual tension there between the two of them. Definitely some yaoi tension between them. But then you see, like I said, the recap of like, from the time that they save Chisato to the time that they break out, all of that, and it's all interconnected. And so as Yoshi-san is leaving, what's it called, Mika's like, he knew I couldn't pull the fucking trigger, and he gets upset, and Yoshi-san gets in the car, and Takina stops him and was like, she's been really looking forward to you, and she really wanted to thank you. And it makes Yoshi-san smile, and he goes, I'm very much looking forward to your potential, Takina. Closes the door and leaves. AKA,
so it's like, so you think it was a ploy for Takina to be there to kill her?
No, I think it's just he wants a fucking super duper assassin, and he's working with Hacker, who's working with Magica. So I think there's a connection somewhere, and he's an Allen child as well. We see also. Did we see that? We learned that already though, that Magica is an Allen child.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's reaffirmed again toward the end of this episode that he's an Allen child himself. And again, with Allen children, they're given specific missions, but it's up to them to fulfill them within their own elements, which is
Yeah.
interesting. But we don't know what either of their missions are, but that the two main people, good and bad, have their own missions: one to destroy, one to save. And in any case, um, basically, Chisato and Mika, they end up having a conversation at the bar, and Chisato's like, "Why didn't you ever tell me?" And they're like, "I, wasn't supposed to. It wasn't my job to." And she's like, "Oh, you kept the secret. That makes sense. I understand." And they just have a conversation about the way things are. And then that's
Of course, one of them wanted to stay at the bar.
yes, one of them. And yeah, basically all is well that ends well from that aspect. Until we get that what's it called? We get that after credit. It's an after credit scene that we had already mentioned that I had mentioned earlier about how they managed to plug that USB drive into the computer, and they managed to find a way to get into the VA.
He's recreated the tower thing.
Yeah, and he's like, and then he says like, "Oh, if you thought the last thing was crazy, wait till you see this one." And they're at the new replacement tower.
Yep. So
Solid
we're about
shit.
to get that again.
Yes, we are.
All right, now engage kiss.
God damn, we're at 2.5 hours.
We have 3 more to go.
And one more review after that.
Yeah. So 4. So let's
Surprise review.
I'll let you go with this one real quick.
Which one is this?
Engage kiss.
Yeah, Engage Kiss. So basically, with Engage Kiss, did we go over last? We didn't go over last week. The what's her face? Did we? The
Yeah, we did.
the Saint.
Yes.
Did we? Okay.
We
What
did.
what are they called again? The of the I forget the name of the damn saint. I know that her name's Sharon, but what do they call
Celestial Abbey.
Celestial Abbey? Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
Exorcist of the Celestial Abbey.
Yeah, so the Celestial. That's what I need to know. Celestial Abbey. Anyway, so we see the battle between Carissa and Sharon from the Celestial Abbey happen, and Kisara, my bad, Kisara.
Yeah.
Between Kisara and Sharon, they have their battle, and then Ayano shows up with her guards to save face, and so Sharon dips, and so we see basically Shu's unconscious from the ass whooping that he took, and from Sharon, and we get a recap story of how the three of them know each other, and so which is funny. So we get a recap story, and basically Kisara was like, "Hey, Sharon was with Shu when they revived me from the cave." And they're like, "Oh, how did like you guys get away from fucking that demon Sharon?" And basically they go over the story about how after they got and subdued Kisara, Sharon and Shu have sex, and as they're fucking, Sharon is about to kill him, and then with a knife behind his back while he's pumping, and then he stops, and then he knows because he pulls out a thing of poison, and Kisara a vial of poison, and Kisara says it was a neurotoxin to paralyze her, and they're like, "How did you get her to drink the poison?" And you see basically she goes, "There's more than one membrane that can absorb poison," basically saying that he put his fucking poison on his cock and fucked it in her, which is pretty fucking cool. That was raw.
I was like, wow.
That was raw as fuck, bro. I saw that clip where they were like fucking, and I was like, oh shit. And then you see the poison. You're like, oh shit. All right, guy.
Oh
and
god.
So
Bill Cosby should take notes.
That makes Ayano jealous. Like, wait, how do you know that? And then they're like, wait, how like have you stolen every memory of every girl that he's fucked? Tell me who he's fucked. Right? Just who you remember, but who he's fucked. Tell me. And she just walks away, which is funny. That he wants to know those details.
Like none of your business.
Basically. Which pissed me off. I was like, bro, how can you take those memories of like I can't imagine like someone taking my memories of the women that I fucked.
Kisara wants all of them.
Horrible. Anyway, so meanwhile, Shu's awake. Shu pretended to be asleep, but he was awake, listening to the conversation that they had between Kisara and Ayano. And he's like, I gotta try and process this. And so basically, while this conversation is happening in the hospital, we see Sharon basically take a boat to a large freight boat that's off of the shore of the shore of the mainland, and she breaks in, kills some people, and she finds a suit of some kind and basically integrates herself within the suit. She strips butt ass naked and integrates herself within the suit. The suit is, you can tell off bat, it's made from demon technology. And so the next day we see the detectives. They find the lock, they find the dead people, and they see that the suit, they see a fragment of the suit. They test it, they find its demon power. They find where the package came from. It's from a dummy business that's run by the Celestial Abbey. So basically, they falsified documents and imported some serious ass shit inside of the country for the sake of trying to kill this demon, aka Kisara. And so that was wild. As I believe, what, she went shopping, was it? She got a text message, or was she was with somebody. She was doing something. Kisara was doing something. She gets a text message to meet Sharon in an abandoned building. And so she does. They begin the fight, and Sharon is wearing this suit, and she's like the fucking Terminator.
Yeah,
She's like the Terminator. She damages Kisara. She manages to shoot Kisara, but normal human weapons don't phase Kisara because she's a demon. And so the demon, like these like demon like tentacles come out of the fucking suit, and they start fucking attacking Kisara and put a hole in her leg, and she's taking major damage, Eventually, as she's fighting Sharon gets the upper hand and manages to stab Kisara a hole in the stomach, and she's bleeding everywhere. She's fucked up, she's hurt. And then as she's hurt, we see Ayano go back to the hospital with a fresh bouquet of flowers, and was looking for Shu, and Shu isn't there, and the window's open. So Shu escaped the hospital, and at this moment when you see that, you see Kisara about to be defeated by Sharon, and then you hear a gunshot, loud gunshot. You wake up, Kisara wakes up and sees Shu is there, trying to, like, get her up, get her going, and they have a conversation. And basically they're like, hey, Kisara's like, what am I to you? What is this? And at the end of the day, Shu reaffirms, like, hey, I'm just using you to get to my end goal. But if it wasn't you, I wouldn't kiss you and let you steal my memories. And I don't care what you have to do. You can suck me dry. I was gonna say you can suck me dry. You can see where my mind is.
Yep.
You can, basically, he said, you can wring me dry to the bone as long as I accomplish what I need to accomplish. That's all I care about. And basically they start making out passionately, tongue and spit and all. You see it all. It's not censored, unlike Harem. And it gives Kisara power. And Shu passes out from the memory loss. And Kisara fights back, and a second half of the battle happens. It's incredible, and Kisara manages to get the upper hand and defeat Sharon.
Yep.
And that's basically how the episode more or less ends. Like, there's some banter between Shu and Kisara, but nothing of significance.
Yeah. No, that was really good.
So is Sharon dead, or is she going to be going, like, is she being deported? Like, what is going on?
I think she'll be back.
You gotta be, because she's like, the sword didn't go through her or anything. Like, you just see her fucking pretty ass.
Probably her suit's useless now, but
they destroyed the suit, no doubt. They destroyed the suit, so that's
so she'll probably get a stronger suit.
What would shock me? Sorry. You know what would shock me? If they fucking threw her in jail because she's not as powerful. So they threw her in jail, and then another Abbey member came over and broke her out. And there's 2 Abbey members.
Could be, yeah.
That would be fucking cool, bro.
That would be cool. Alrighty, co-main-ish.
Yes.
Call the night.
Great episode.
Our
final episode where somebody gets, well, not quite, because I guess people get thrown out the window in our main event.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But
it's another episode where somebody gets thrown out the window.
Yeah, it was a window week.
It was a window week for sure.
We meet another new character, Shirakawa.
Is she gonna be permanent?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought they featured her a lot this episode, but I didn't think she was gonna be permanent.
Yeah, like not. I don't think every day, but it's like well, we'll see more of her. But yeah, Shirakawa, she's a 24-year-old office employee.
And she's miserable.
Yeah, because of her job and all this. She's very tired.
Yep. Very reflective of real life Japan. Always very reflective of real life Japan.
Yeah. And how stressful it is. And Ko is giving her a massage. Because Nazuna's lazy.
Basically.
I don't wanna.
Yada.
If you do it, I'll give you a reward.
Go homie.
And $20.
No, 200.
No, because you said 2,000 yen. That's $20.
Is it?
Yeah, it's $20.
It is. No.
2,000 yen is $20.
$9.99. Huh? Because I always go based off of the New Japan World subscription. 999 yen is 10.
Sorry. 2,000 yen right now is $15.
Is it? Wow.
Yep.
I said 10,000 was 1,000.
10,000 is $100.
It's 100. Yeah, I said it in the previous episode.
So for fellow part timer, they were getting $1,000 a day. And this one, he was only getting $15 to massage this girl.
But that was half because she normally pays 4,000 yen.
But that is the half. Because she was getting 4,000 yen. The 2,000 yen is the $15.
Basically, that's American exchange rate.
Yeah, and then he's like, "Wow, that's a lot of money." Like, oh yeah, but I forget.
14, it makes sense.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I was gonna say like it's not. That's like a day, not even.
I used to get $5 a week for taking out the trash.
Yeah, I used to get an allowance. It was like $20. So.
Yeah, no, I got like five a week, so $20 a month. Wasn't much.
Made it last, but yeah, Ko was giving Shirakawa the massage, and then you see her talking about her life at the job, and it got to the point where like she doesn't want it, like she can't take it anymore.
It almost seems like suicidal, but I felt bad. She broke down, just broke down crying.
Yeah, and her boss of all people was calling her during this
at 2 a.m.
Yeah, like to go in, and then Ko's like, I can't. I should probably stop her.
And so he gets all rapey and was like, "You're not leaving."
Yes, you ain't going out here alive.
Right, and then
she's like, "What?"
She pokes through the fucking wall. I laughed when I saw that.
It was like, "What?" It was like, stop her from what? From leaving.
Okay.
Yeet
her out the fucking window.
I was like, "What is that?"
I was like, "That's what?"
So she's like, "I'm gonna die."
Yep.
And he's like, and then he jumps out the window like, "No, you're not."
Yep.
And then Nazuna picks them up.
Yep.
They land safely.
Yep.
He talks about like how he wants to be a vampire to her and all that.
Yep.
And he's like, "When I turn, I'll turn you."
Mm-hmm.
And Nazuna's like, "What the fuck?" And then Shirakawa's like, "I hope you do," type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you see Nazuna getting jelly. So yeah, who says you're gonna turn to vampire? That was the guy I love. Like, stop saying love, damn it.
Keki.
That was the first half. The second half is Nazuna tells Ko, "Hey, think of something fun. Do it." Like karaoke, nah. Like all this stuff is like swimming. Like, all right, we can go swimming. And they found this hotel with this random pool party.
Right? Like, that's normally, you would see some shit like near the coast for that, you would think, right?
Actually, I didn't see that during my time in Japan. Then again, I was in the winter time, but
yeah,
but all that was going on, and that Ko is sitting at this chair by himself, and then when Nazuna, she's getting hit on by these two dudes.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ko sees it, and he starts getting jelly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, got to the point where like he grabs her wrists, like, "Bitch, get your ass in the car."
Yeah, but those guys weren't that bad. They were like, "Oh, she did have."
No, they were actually nice guys. I think they were just really just talking, hanging out.
Yeah, and they were like, "Don't leave your girl alone, bro."
But good luck, man. You got this. Game recognized game.
Fact.
Yeah, and then Koza's just like walking away from her again, all like pouty, like a bitch.
Right.
And then Nazuna just basically picks him up. They start flying. I thought she was gonna yeet him in the pool.
Yeet.
I like throw him in there, but no, they start diving the pool. And then she's like, "Oh, you have fun and all this?" And yeah, he didn't say yes, but it was, in a way, it was.
I guess it's whatever.
Yeah, but that was a fun episode.
Yeah, it was a great episode.
Alrighty, made in the best. Fuck all you voters, by the way, for giving this such a low grade.
They don't know quality. I told you that before.
In the anime trend, in the anime corner. And this should be fucking top.
Top.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, this is one of the best pieces of media, and they're just neglecting it. I don't know if it's on high dive or what.
It's gotta be. But where's Call of the Night? Ayumu, Isekai, like
They're not really on there. Well, Call of the Night is. And you get these random Isekai and harem shows on top, but this one's like gets the back burner. It's like, really?
Yeah, and that's kind of ridiculous.
I guess priorities.
I mean, you know, when you first saw it, like that was one of the things that I didn't like about it. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, it looks like fucking some little kids in some fucking random world, like meh. And then when you watch it, it is little kids in a random world, but it goes way beyond that. So
Yeah,
I guess perhaps those are people that are judging based off of just like initial sight, or not enough viewers that have watched that in the past. I don't know.
One person said it was gross. Like, it's not really gross.
I mean, it can be gross.
Well, Mariko shits twice. That's it.
Bro, it's constant vomit, constant shit. You know, constant
piss.
piss.
But there's more to it. Like, the world is engaging. That's how
it is.
Atmosphere
I know.
everything.
That's why it's forgiving for me. Like, I still complain about it. I'm like, really? I didn't need to see more vomit. I didn't just fucking see Rico fucking having diarrhea again for like the 50th time. What the fuck, cat?
Yeah, cat. Tell him.
Asshole.
Oh yeah, we picked up where we left off. Rico was thinking about like, what could I give this thing? Like my eyes, my mouth.
Yeah. The dilemma.
Yeah, and then Magikaja stepped in saying like, you need to leave.
Yep.
Don't give him anything.
Don't give him anything. Yep, because you won't make it. I've seen it before. You'll die.
Yeah, it's like, and you'll lose value on your life and all this shit.
Yep.
And then even Nanachi, it's like, don't, like, just leave me here with Midi.
That's so wild when you see her, like, bro, like, she legit straight up just like fucking sold her fucking soul
for Midi.
For Midi. I mean, we all know how that's gonna end.
Well, to be fair, Midi was the only friend she ever had before them, but
yeah.
But it's
it's not. That's not even really Midi. It's just a exact carbon copy.
Right. That Bondru was somehow able to convince to keep it alive.
That's so wild, bro.
It is wild. It's like, holy shit.
And on top of that, it's a waste of one of what's his face's fucking explosions. One of Reg's fucking explosions. It was a complete waste. It did nothing.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, he didn't know that.
I know, but we'll get to Reagan momentarily.
Yeah, because he has a little badass appearance in a bit, but
he does, yes. Anyway,
but yeah, this was mostly about Rico.
It is mostly about Rico and her desire to help the
Nanachi and all that.
Help everyone for that matter, not just Nanachi.
Yeah,
basically, as they left. They left. As they're walking away, trying to figure out what's next, they see the villagers are hunting, and they're hunting this slime blob thing.
Yeah, Elko starts to explain it to them.
Yeah, we find out.
Because these people can't leave.
Yeah, we find out this slime blob thing is was a former villager, and it managed somehow by some miracle to escape, to leave the village, and now it's come back as a predator. And so they are trying to capture or kill this thing for food or value or something. And this fucking slime blob thing is just fucking up villagers left and right, burning them, killing them, eating them. It's wild.
Even one of those big beast things that got burnt alive, basically.
Basically, dude, it was fucking wild. One of the three
sages.
The three sages happened to be a beast. And we find out later on that the sage, these aren't the OG sages. Like, they can be changed. And we'll get to that momentarily.
Yeah, we'll get that in a bit.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a bit. And so basically, Rico's trying to figure out, like, what are we doing? What can we do to help them? What can we do to help them? And so she's like, I got an idea. Goes to Magica. I need you to prepare something for me. And we see the Magica gain like a racer type.
Yeah, basically body. Get equipment to go faster.
Get equipment to go faster. And he gains that equipment because Rico sacrificed her hair. Her long hair, cut it short.
Yep. It's a good look.
It is. It's not a bad look at all.
Yeah.
She looks more tomboyish, but it fits her.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it fits her.
But
So anyway,
yeah, starts throwing the slime thing around.
yeah.
It gets to the point where what was like a mirror type.
Yeah, they basically put it through a mirror to stop it. Kind of
Yeah.
stop it in its tracks. And then basically the people try to stop it.
Yeah, these people
People do
are
try to stop it.
like stab it. Looks like it's working,
Yep.
and then that thing was like powered up like psych,
Psych!
and it
Kills
start
kills
yeah,
everybody.
and it starts taking some of the hollows, and then it almost stabbed Riku, but Ma jumped in.
And Ma sacrificed himself.
I was like,
And
no, Ma.
and so as Rico is losing her shit, she's like, what are we gonna do? We see our first appearance of the
Prushka.
season of Prushka. And Prushka whispers, her soul whispers to Rico, blow me.
To like blow the whistle.
Use me, but I wanted to be funny.
Yeah,
Blow me.
Blow me, mommy.
And so she blew her.
And you see like these wind blades, something cutting it.
Yeah. Wind
Dave's
blades
Ma.
cut it. And then we see what the wind blades were. Matt, what were the wind blades?
It was fucking Reg.
It was
Shiny.
goddamn Reg.
Chrome, like shiny, his arms,
Chrome
his
Reg.
helmet. It turns out
Chrome.
with Rico's whistle, it controls relics. Like
Yes, and
Reg is a relic.
we find out from the previous episode, Reg as well. Like, and now Reg looks like a bona fide KKK member with his white fucking hair on.
Stop it! It's not pointy, damn it.
Yeah, I had to say that joke. But no, Reg looks badass. He's wearing all white. He's super overpowered, and using basically their combined skills, they're able to defeat the
slime.
Able to defeat the slime. And I thought they fucking combined Reg's hand. What happened to Reg's arm?
Rico still has it.
Oh,
they never repaired it fully.
I thought they repaired it.
No, they did not. They tried to.
But
no, she still has it.
Okay. I thought they left it. I was like, he's going.
No. Still, they didn't find someone that could actually fix it.
Which makes sense considering he's a
relic. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so we get that, and so basically we see one of the sages come over, and
he's like, how can we ever repay you and all this?
Yeah.
And she asks, is there a way to save Nanachi?
Yeah.
And he says, there's only one way, and you have to catch Faputa.
Yeah, and they're like, Faputa, and Reg's like, yeah, how did that go with Faputa? Like, we had conversation, but it
went nowhere for him.
Basically, yeah. And so, but we can tell that what's her face is going to play a big role in it.
Eluko?
Yeah, because her and Faputa.
Also, we forgot that Mogi, the chef, was like questioning Eluko.
Yeah.
He's like, I've been here for years. I've never seen you before.
And she's like, well, I was part of the original Suicide Squad.
Yeah, she called it the Suicide Squad. I was like,
yeah, she did. She called them the Suicide. Well, I mean, they called themselves that too, in a way.
Yeah.
In the opening. But I was part of the original Suicide Squad, and I was also one of the original three sages. But I got what's it called? I got greedy, and here I am now.
This was her payment.
Yeah. So can she leave the village?
What?
Can she leave the village?
I don't think so.
I mean, well, I guess because no, never mind. Because I was gonna say the village, she retained her human form, but I was like, oh, the village doesn't have the.
Yeah, I want to know. Yeah, what exactly happened?
Why it doesn't have the force? In a way, like I don't know how I feel about this because it's like one half of me is like happy that they don't have to worry, but they can go up and down stuff without having to worry about losing fucking humanity and throwing up and shit. And the other half of me kind of like is like, like it's gonna be such a shock when eventually they go to, like, I'd imagine, to go to the 7th layer, the next layer, and it's gonna be that way where they can't go up. Otherwise, you're gonna see them fucking like just explode or some shit,
Right.
But no. Solid episode. I can't wait. Every time I see an episode, they reveal more. They do a fantastic job of that. They give you more, and then they give you more questions to fill those.
I just love this show.
I do too.
Again, it's very engaging.
It's definitely trending to a 5. There's several anime that are trending to a 5.
Yeah. Alrighty, the real main event.
So that would normally be it, but Matt and
we kind of had to. It fits in Japan.
we will talk about it. And so we're gonna spend our last couple minutes before our outros talking about Bullet Train.
Yeah, we watched it. We're like, no, because I saw the trailer months ago. I was like, I had to see this.
I saw it I saw it a couple months ago myself, and I was like, this looks so fucking wild, and it's in Japan. I gotta watch it.
Yep, and you know what? Let's review it.
It was fucking great.
It was fun. We're not gonna spoil anything.
No,
The characters are great. Fighting's fun. I love the twins.
yes, twins were low key highlight. Twins were
Yes.
definitely low key highlight. Bad Bunny kept making appearances, and that was funny.
Yeah, I didn't know it was him until I saw him on screen. Like, oh, okay, that is Bad Bunny.
That's one of the reasons why everybody and their mother is gonna go watch it because of Bad Bunny, because of how popular it is. Brad Pitt was great with his comedic timing and his and the principle of his character just being like a snatch and grab guy, and now he's caught up.
He's like bad luck. Yeah, he's like this
bad luck, and he's caught up in this bullshit. And then the twist at the end with why he's caught up in the bullshit. Oh, that made me fucking die. I was like, yo, bro, so many Japanese tropes as well.
I fucking. Did you like that cameo on the bus, on the train?
Which one?
The doppelganger.
Which one?
The guy that Brad Pitt talks to. The
yeah.
I love that.
Oh yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, what do you need me to do, man?
Is this a sex thing?
Yeah, it's like it's not a sex thing.
It's not a sex thing. Oh man, all right. Well, what's going on? He was really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I know. He was waiting.
He was definitely waiting for it. He was like, oh, 200 yen?
Yeah, but yeah, Lemon, Tangerine were great. Prince was funny for a bit.
Yes.
White Death was someone I did not expect.
Who's the guy who plays him?
Michael Shannon.
He looks so familiar, but then I couldn't like pinpoint it.
Yeah, it was Michael Shannon. Yeah.
Yeah, White Death was dope. I hated that fucking girl, his daughter.
Prince.
I hated her.
No, I like what happened to her at the end. I was like,
yes. That was one of my favorite parts. I was the only guy that was laughing. I was laughing hysterically. Yeah. I was dying laughing. I literally said it out loud what it was.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, it's beep beep. Like, yo, that shit had me dying.
Yeah, I was glad me and Bash were the only ones in the theater because we could laugh. If I did, you're like, yes.
That's how we were for Inu-Oh. Like my homegirl and I were the only ones in the theater for Inu-Oh, and so we had like open dialogue in the middle of like the movie.
Nice
about it, because we were like trying to process how like weird it was, but how interesting and like it was for us as well. Like literally, we saw Inu-Oh, and then we went like literally across the fucking hallway to go see Bullet Train like right afterwards. So I probably could have gotten. Well, no, probably not. I was gonna say I probably could have gotten away with not buying a ticket, and I was like, no, I probably would have had to buy a ticket because our seats probably. But yeah, but no, dude, it was awesome. Like I said, so many hilarious moments, so much blood and gore. I didn't expect the amount of blood and gore. That shit was next level. I haven't seen that much blood and gore in a while.
Yeah, I also enjoyed the quiet room.
Yeah,
quiet. Anything that happened in the quiet room, I thought it was fun.
That bitch needed to get fucking shot too.
Oh, not talk about that. Talk about with Lemon and him in the room.
Oh yeah,
with the fight. Yeah,
that was good shit.
Like they dragged buddy when they tell shut up.
Oh my god, but I was also tired of seeing like projectile blood vomiting. I was annoyed with that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, and they kept showing it for like 7 different scenes. I was like, why? Fucking why?
What would you call it? The Elder was badass.
I loved Elder. Elder was one of my favorite things. I really felt for the young guy, the young Japanese guy. I felt for him.
Yuichi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt for him.
I was like, oh, come on, man.
But no, I mean it made total sense. Everything that happened with that.
Everything worked out great.
And they took I guess that's why it's a 2-hour movie, because it's like they kept adding question after question after question after question. Then they gave you answers to 2 questions. Then they had question, and gave you answers to 2 more questions. Yeah. Question. They gave you answer to 1. Question. They gave you like 5 different answers. Like there were points where like they would give you like a bunch of questions, give you a couple answers, give you more questions, give you a couple more answers, and then give you one more question, and then that question answers a chunk of answers. that like literally pieced together. Like it was a web. That one good way to describe Bullet Train. It's a web of it's a convoluted story webbed together to make a beautiful beautiful web.
Yeah, it's one of those. If you want to just shut your brain off, have some entertainment, you'll get it from this.
If you want blood and gore and laughter and good fight scenes and just a solid show about a solid movie rather of crazy action in Japan on a bullet.
Right.
This is it. I gave it a solid 4 out of 5.
Yeah, same. Alrighty, closing thoughts.
I'm tired.
Me too.
So just as if anybody's listening at this stage, we normally record on Thursdays. As we said, Matt is taking a vacation to celebrate that he got married. I don't think we talked about that, did we, Matt?
We did.
Did we?
Yeah, last week.
I don't recall. Well, anyway, again,
exciting.
But
no, I'm going to see my friends, see my family.
What are you doing for a honeymoon? Was that like show to Iceland a honeymoon already, or that trip?
We just wherever we want to go. We're not gonna have like a honeymoon. Not for a while. Not for a while.
I mean, if you keep talking shit about the post office, you might.
Fuck them. I don't care. Fuck those people.
No, so anyway, so Matt's going on a little trip back to the city.
And then when we come back next Thursday, we're going to talk about the Dragon Ball movie.
Yes, I'm watching it tomorrow. Matt is watching it tomorrow and Tuesday, and you're watching it Friday. So that'll be interesting. We'll give our review on that. And yeah. No, in terms of like the week, solid week. We're officially at the halfway point of the season now for all of our anime.
Yeah.
And we're beyond it for a few. And it's a very, very, very strong season. I was thinking about this like literally briefly today before the show. I was like, at least for example, for what's it called? My Isekai Life. I'm already at 8 of 12 episodes. I'm already on next week will be episode 9. And so for me, that would be the first anime that I'm gonna finish and then I can rate right now. Because I tend to rate them with like a quarter with 3/4 done. And I'm trying to decide. And I was like, I enjoy it. It's tough for me because like I enjoy so many of these anime, but I don't want to overrate them because I find myself sometimes overrating them. And then I'll let a conversation with you or somebody like Sean or somebody on a show, like either it'll probably like I'll lower it after the fact. And like I just started like in my head trying to process like the rankings that I'm gonna do. And it's so tough because there's so many shows that are neck and neck. I can definitely give you a top 5, but in terms of like the overall like ranking, it's gonna be tough because these shows keep producing like really solid episode after
it's gonna be very difficult. The fact that some are actually being left out.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's not that they're bad. It's just we just like these better.
I know. I'm watching 17 different shows, 16 if you exclude Boruto.
Yeah, I'm
watching 16 different shows.
Well, I will probably add Tekken when I'm on the island because that's gonna be all dropped on Netflix.
Which one?
Tekken.
Like the fighting game?
Yeah.
They have an anime for that?
Yeah, they're gonna talk about the third story. So
I see. I love playing Tekken, but I never follow the storyline on Tekken.
I usually just follow the story in Tekken. So that's usually that's what I enjoy. Yeah, did they take it off analysts?
Oops! I backed out on accident. I was trying to swipe so I can get somewhere, and it swiped away. My bad. Anyway, I was saying I like playing with my homeboys, but I never really followed the story like that.
Yeah, Tekken Bloodline. It comes out soon.
I see. I don't know. I don't know if I'll watch that or not because, like you said, it's the third story.
It focuses on Jin.
Have they done animes on the other 2 stories?
No, they did a small thing like 20 years ago about Tekken 1.
I don't know if I can. Like, I want to watch it, but
I can because I know the story.
Yeah, you know the story. You know the story, and it's like I don't know. I guess it was different because when I watched like what was that one anime we just finished watching? What was it? The Chinese one that had to do with the game.
Shenmue. Yeah.
Like I was able to watch it because they started at the very beginning, but you had more of a background, which is why I gave you more of an appreciation for it than I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
With this, they're starting like directly in the middle. That's another thing, like why like I enjoy Ruby very much, but it's not going to get very high marks for me because of the fact that I don't have the same base as somebody that suffered through that entire fucking series, where
Right.
they can like place this somewhere or they understand like the characters, you know. So it's tough for me to be able to like watch something and then just like pick it up. And there's so many other ones. Like there's the other one that's dropping in September, in late September, I think, or early September, the second half. We
Oh,
gotta watch
Bastard.
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bastard. That's
Oh
24
God.
episodes. And
Yeah.
we heard that the first half is solid. We've heard the first half is really good of Bastard, you know? And there's another Netflix one. Oh, well, never mind. This is unrelated. You know what I've realized? I never finished Dota, Dragon Breath.
Oh yeah.
They dropped
You
the
did?
part 2 and they're dropping a part 3. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Bastard Part One got 6.75.
I've heard good things about it. I mean, that's not a good rating right there, but I've heard good things about it.
Yeah. It's basically it's not. It's more of those. It's like it's not for everyone.
Why? Because it's story, because of gore, because I think it's
A
pretty gory.
gore, heavy metal.
Like screamo metal. I mean, but who
I don't know.
cares?
I didn't watch this.
I just want to see fucking good animation. Gore's fine, you know.
Yeah, nudity's fine.
As long as I'm not seeing like projectile spinning fucking exorcist
Yeah,
vomit, then I'm good.
it's an R-rated thing, mild nudity.
Needs more sex. Everything needs more sex.
Yeah. All right, you ready to
More
wrap it
segs.
up?
More segs.
More sex. But yeah, you ready to get out of here?
Yeah, I want to go beat my meat and go to sleep.
Yeah, me too. All right, we talked our cake. We ate our cake. We're full of cake. Follow me on Twitter at DamianPhoenix12. You can also follow our Twitter at Talk to Keki. We want to thank Sean for being our editor. We want to thank W2M Network and Chairshot Radio for hosting us for where you find your favorite podcast. Again, Chairshot Radio, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Music, Audible, you name it, we're probably there. We're probably the under the desk keeping it balanced somewhere.
Under the desk doing some shady shit.
Exactly. We have a Facebook group called Eat the Cake Anime. Join that. If you heard it through us, give us a shout. We will shout you out back. All right, earplugs.
Yes, and before we continue, also shout out to our fans. Thank God for Facebook and the at everyone comment. We definitely got our most views thanks to that comment. We've been averaging.
People came in web, most interactive.
Yes, this is definitely our most interactive show. It's one of the reasons why it lasted so long. Besides me fucking around a couple times, so our apologies, guys.
Yeah.
Why we're over 3 hours for sure, because I was fucking around and we were answering questions as a whole. But no, shout out to all the people that came through the chat. Again, if you're hearing this and you're listening to this, dude, stop by. Let us know. We on average, again, we normally go on live every Thursday. Again, this is a different episode. It's a Monday episode, but most Thursdays we go on live sometime around 9 p.m. Eastern time, 8 o'clock Central time, 6 o'clock Pacific time, somewhere around that vicinity. And again, we're on all of these channels that we mentioned. We're on what's it called? We mentioned all the podcast channels, but we're also on YouTube now on W2M Network. We're on Twitter, on all of our Twitters, Damien Phoenix 12 at Showstopper24. That's my Twitter. Again, we post live in the Eat the Cake group, so you can always catch us there. There are multiple avenues. YouTube, as I mentioned, Twitch. There are multiple avenues for you to be able to catch us. And if you can't catch us live, then you can always reach out to us. Any of our messages. You can also go to our platforms and you can find the replays there, because I know on Twitter, Matt and I, we definitely retweet and our replays. So you'll see that there as well. But no, if you're listening to this and you hear the interaction that we had, definitely come on live, give us the interactions. We will talk to you. We'll stop in the middle of the show, like, yeah, there was this that happened, and oh, what do you mean fucking this guy is? And what the fuck are you talking about? Random fan.
Exactly.
We'll talk to you and it'll make it onto the show, as you can tell. But yeah, just real briefly, my plugs again on Twitter, SHOSTOPPA24, on Instagram, AI_anime24. That's IAnime24. That's my anime Instagram. My podcast Instagram is podcast.senpai. You can follow me on there. Again, as Matt said, we have link trees on all of our socials, so you can find any of our endeavors, any of our podcasts, any of each other's information. You'll find it there. Any way you can reach out to us, find our stuff, listen to us, you'll find it fairly easy on all the stuff that we do. My analyst page is analyst.co/shoppa249. Yeah, I mean, I'm probably missing some other plugs, but that's about it.
Alrighty. Until then, we'll see you guys next week. Arigato, anatu faku, and sayonara.
Sayonara, minasan!